that shit on my sheets, bro.
Doctor?
In the business smoking more. Rock. Pocket full of motherfucking blue guap. Half an ounce in my Gucci two socks. For the summertime, got a new drop. Trapper slash rapper slash bad bitch. Snatcher, come here. Baby mama mad. She said you live like a bachelor. So what? Sold 100 pounds and gave 10% to the pastor. Keep going up the ladder. They mad, make them matter. Told my son when I'm gone, you gon' be a rich little bastard. Pointers on me hitting, leave a bitch dizzy. All my old bitches feeling salty, yeah. MID, I'm talking about why you dog me, yeah. But I still miss you, can you call me, yeah. I heard ain't shit changed that you still ballin', yeah. She used to bust them scripts for me at Walgreens. Smuggling narcotics was my calling, hey. Foes on the Mercedes, that's major, whole gang going crazy, that's major, millions on the table, that's major, turn dirt into diamonds, that's major, you searching for fame, I became a superstar in the dope game, found out you a hater, I can't look at you the same, she said can she take a picture with my chain, got two twin sisters, call them yin yang, I wish I wouldn't have fucked that bitch, she insane, Alexander McQueen on me, ain't got a stain, turn to the plug, my life ain't never been the same,
Doctor?
Foes on the Mercedes, that's major, whole gang going crazy, that's major, millions on
What's
the
up to
table,
everybody in the
that's major,
motherfucking chat? You know what I'm saying?
that's major,
Happy Monday.
Marvin in the business smoking more,
Productive Monday to everybody in the motherfucking building. Go up early, get into this motherfucking crap. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of cold where I'm at. You know what I mean? But we here in the motherfucking morning. Let me turn this shit down. And turn this down so your neighbors don't hear us cussing early in the morning. It's too early to be cussing and fussing. Let me see all who be up early getting to this peso. You know what I'm saying? Let me show so to all the early morning go-getters. We got the 18 motherfucking left. In the motherfucking building, we got A-Dub in the house. You know what I'm saying? Making sure everything is okay for the Tongues people in Alaska. We got Keels in the building. Upstate New York in the motherfucking house. We got Black Dust. That shit is crazy. Why is your name Black Dust, bro? Is you black and you on dust, or is the dust black? Are you a black person on dust, or is the dust black? You know what I mean? We don't know. Shout out to the Creative Solutions in the motherfucking building. Large up yourself. We got a Young Creative. That's her rap name. Her rap name is Young Creative, you know, or Lil Creative. We'll figure it out when she signed to the record label. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to who else we got in the building. Damn, this man said 28 degrees. The fuck is good? The fuck? Why is it 28 degrees, bro? Why? You know what I mean? Like, why is it? Bro, why is it 28 degrees? There's no reason for it to be 28 degrees. That's a fact. Show so to you know what I'm saying, one of the Bandit records, you know what I'm saying, corporate, you know what I'm saying, higher up, D the Degenerate, you know what I'm saying? That's Bandit Records, Texas. Bandit Records, Texas. You know what I mean? By the way, this morning we sipping on a little bit of Nescafe mixed with a little bit of microdose of the fungus. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna front like we not microdosing the fungus this morning. We microdosing a little bit of psilocybin, a little bit of fungi, you know what I'm saying? Just to let you know. But I really want to cook up some shit this morning, and I really want to chop it up about mental traps. Right? I want to chop it up about mental traps. The link is pinned in the DJ Witch Doctor channel. I ain't gonna hold y'all. This message, if you're watching from the Not For Humans channel, this message might self-destruct. I ain't gonna hold you. It's no promises that this stream will still be up. As a matter of fact, just to make sure, I'm gonna go and delete the last one that we had. It's gonna still be on the DJ Witch Doctor channel, but I got to delete the motherfucking Now we got 13 people over the Not for Humans. If you don't mind, could you please move on over? Move your behind over. Move your behind over to the other channel where Lady Quantum is at. You know what I'm saying? She's in the right one. Let me get her wrench for being in the right chat. You know what I'm saying? Creative in the right chat. We got Keels in the right chat, and we got A Dub in the right chat. Everybody else is in the wrong chat, and I'm about to post the link here. Right? As a matter of fact, if you can, keep posting so people know that we at the other channel. You know what I'm saying? So how is everybody doing on a morning? I'm gonna highlight the comments to see how everybody doing in the morning so everybody could know everybody else doing, because some people is still over at the Not for Humans, and we're gonna end that one soon. As a matter of fact, I got you. I'm about to paste the link to the other stream in that stream. But still like the thing, still make sure you share the thing out if you're feeling generous. You know what I'm saying? You want to hit the Bandit Coffee Fund. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate it. But right now we here working anyway. We here working. Shouts out to Missy T in the building. Missy, come through to the other channel. I'm about to post the link and pin the link. You know what I'm saying? Come to this stream. I'm going to say come to this stream. I'm going to paste it in the chat and I'm going to pin it to the top. We're going to pin it to the top. But we better get some shit popping early morning. You know what I'm saying? When you see me with this on this robot, know that I just got up out of bed. You know what I'm saying? I just got up, but since I got up, I ain't did too much. You know what I'm saying? I was checking out in Discord. We had a couple of the Discordians chopping it up early in the morning. We got man like 18 Leto. We got A Dub. We got motherfucking Zay in the motherfucking house. We got a couple of people over there. Shows out to Barry White in the building. Barry White. Salute. Big up yourself, right? This morning I got up, I was listening to some Alan Watts. Let me know if you know Alan Watts. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who fucks with the fungi, who fucks with the psychedelics, who fucks with the esoteric. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know who Alan Watt is. Chakra Love says she need to join the Discord. Can somebody drop the Discord link? Let me see. I think I got it on standby. Usually the homie Keon got all the links on deck. Shouts out to the homie Keon for having the links them on deck. I think Zyrax always got links on deck too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Lady Quantum. I know she know Alan Watts, Terrence McKinnon. You know what I'm saying? And we can't just mention the white ones. We got to mention Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, and all of these. You know what I'm saying? The whole esoteric family, you know what I'm saying? The whole consciousness expanding family. That's what I call it. A lot of information is not for you to believe or not believe. It's to broaden your perspective. A lot of people, their perspective is too narrow. They sheep, you know what I'm saying? They sheeple. Their perspective is too narrow. It's like a horse with the fucking blinders on at the side. They just meant to work like a workhorse. They meant to work and run and shit like that. You know what I mean? I call Bobby Hemmett my spiritual daddy. You know what I mean? Show some to Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? I call Brother Panic. I call Bobby Hemmett my spiritual grandpops, and Brother Panic my spiritual uncle. As a matter of fact, I got you. I got the Brother Panic shit right here, Lady Quantum. I got the Brother Panic shit for you right here. Let me run that shit real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Why is it not letting me switch brands? What's going on? Wait a minute. I got the Brother Panic right here lined up, but it's not letting me switch brands. Why is it not doing the? Is anybody getting that issue? Is it gonna let you switch brands while you in? Damn, it usually do. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I wonder if I should just end it on the other one. Let me see. We still got 6 people over there. 6 people over there. Could you go to the other stream? 6 people over there. Keel say he know Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? The real Bobby Hemmett, or you just come on, Keels. I love Bobby Hemmett. Show so the creative. You know what? Let's pull up some Bobby Hemmett for the moment. Let me pull up some Bobby Hemmett, so people could see who Bobby Hemmett is. A lot of people didn't hip to that type of information. And Bobby Hemmett is an acquired taste. Bobby Hemmett be cussing you out, all sorts of shit. Let me find something that is easily digestible using the power of your mind. Bobby Hemmett, right? That seems good. Let's pull it up early. Early, we paying homage to the ants. Well, I can't call Bobby Hemmett the ancestors because I don't think the brother has transitioned. I think he's still, rocking with us. He's just in a different mental state right now. You know what I'm saying? He's in a different mental state. You know what I'm saying? The same Bobby Hemmett that teach all of this shit ain't the same Bobby Hemmett. Just the shell is right here rocking with us. The essence is not the same Bobby Hemmett because, like we just human vessels. We human vessels and we got it shows out to LA Project in the building. We having human experiences. We consciousness in human vessels, man. Let me run the Bobby Hemmett right quick. Let's hear what he said. And by the way, I didn't watch this. I probably watched the larger lecture, but I have no idea what he's about to say, right?
See, a lot of the magic stuff don't work. That's why they putting all this shit in. You can go to the regular bookstore and buy all that magic. It don't work now because the cycle, this was a lot of stuff was for another cycle. That cycle has changed now. Now the magic is supposed to be mental power where you supposed to not do a practical application, but you supposed to will this shit in the mind.
Yeah, the man said magic, and this is what I be telling people. A lot of people believe too much in the spooky shit, but the magic is some mental shit. The all is mind, the universe is mental. You know what I'm saying? When I look at magic for like a simple definition, my definition for magic is like you're using the unseen to influence the scene, or you're using the scene to influence the unseen. Like I could magically get you off the stage. If you go on a stage, I could start booing, you know what I'm saying? And everybody in the crowd start booing, and then you got off the stage. I magically remove you from the stage. I use something from the unseen, the boo. You can't see the boo. You could hear the booing. So I use the unseen realm, you know what I'm saying? I use the audio realm, the vocal realm, vocal power to physically move your ass off the stage by booing you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they don't consider that as magic because they're expecting to see some spooky shit. They're expecting to see some sci-fi channel, Disney channel, you know what I'm saying? Hocus pocus, abracadabra shit. But they don't know that it's really in your mind. That's really the magic. All the other shit is some shit that you can't really you can't prove with no concrete shit. Say turn people away, you know what I'm saying? We doing magic all the time. We doing rituals all the time, you know what I'm saying? You make up your bed early in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Your whole day is organized after you made your bed up, you know what I'm saying? You did a ritual, you do it every day, you know what I'm saying? You make your bed up ritualistically, you know what I mean? But let me run some of the Bobby Hemmett real quick, right? Then we get into it. And show so to Madre in the building. You know what I'm saying? Grand rising, rich rising, wealthy rising. As a matter of fact, gangster rising. That's the word it is. Gangster rising, bandit rising. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I need my notebook for this stream. You might not need your notebook for the stream, or you could take notes for the stream, right? But I'm not a teacher. I'm actually a student. I'm a student of life. I'll share my notes with you as a fellow student. You know what I'm saying? We in the class. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you have my cheat sheet, but I'm not I'm not professing to have the answers or teach it. So to Raheem, he said, pimpin' rising, pimp. You know what I'm saying? That nigga been pimping since been pimping. Facts. I'm a master student like my homie Crumb. Show so to Crumb TV. You know, as a matter of fact, I gotta bring Crumb TV on the channel. You know what I'm saying? You know, he do a different kind of content, but you know what I'm saying? I hope he could survive on our side of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We all are attending Urge School. That's a Snapple fact. We all here attending Urge School helping our higher self to learn about itself by being smaller selves. You know what I'm saying? We here to experience our smaller selves so our bigger selves could know itself type shit. It's like if my pinky, it's like if I take my pinky, it's like if I take my finger and put you know, in them commercials, they got them skateboards that you could do with your finger. It's like if I put pans on my finger and I'm skateboarding. Now I'm DJ Witch Doctor having a skateboard experience because it's not me. I'm not fully skateboarding with my whole body. It's just my fingers having the skateboard experience, but I'm still learning because the finger is a part of me. So whatever you're doing, your higher self or God or the Most High or whatever you want to call it, that shit is learning through you. You know what I'm saying? Because when you pass on, I think you take back your experiences that you had here. So your bigger self could be like, oh shit, I was a DJ Witch Doctor. Oh shit, I was a Chakra Love. I was Young Riaz back in the days. I was the homie D, the motherfucking degenerate. You know what I'm saying? I was Madre in this motherfucker. I used to be the LA Project back in the days when I was on Earth. I used to be Lady Quantum. You know what I'm saying? I used to be all of these degenerates in this chat in the early morning. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's how infinity keep going on. By having infinite experiences, you keep adding on to the infinity type shit. Shows how the studio mansion in the motherfucking building. You know what I'm saying? Shows how the studio in the house. All right, let me play a little bit of Bobby Hemmitt and let me go and refill my coffee. I ain't going too far. The kitchen is right here. The kitchen is not far. When y'all see me looking here when I'm live, it's because I'm smelling something in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And my nose is, you know what I'm saying, it's leading me to look this way. But let me get some more coffee. Let me refill real quick, right? And we're gonna dive into it. I'm about to let Bobby Hemmitt run though. Let me put him on the full screen. Give me like a minute.
So they putting out all of this type of stuff. So when you go back, you be doing these little rituals and shit, and you ain't getting nothing. The key is just to study this to get a affirmation of what your own powers are. So it's like a case study. So you can look at the text and actually see the power in it. So it's more of a study than it is a practical application. That's why they started letting all that shit out. Don't let them fool you. If this shit was dangerous, the white boy wouldn't let it out. You understand? So the key is to get it into the subconscious, other than the technique. So
the Madre, she said, this the type of wake and bake. She like, you know what, Madre? Look, man, I'm ahead of the game. Look, man, I got the spliff with the grabber and I got the virgin blunt. The virgin blunt and the spliff. You know what I'm saying? The red pill and not no pills. We ain't got no pills. We just got the greenery. And we got a little bit of micro dosages going on. You know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of micro dose. So we might be a little picky about who hit the link, because when I'm on the microdosing, I can't deal with too much of the, too much heavy personalities. Look, man, we might not let you up on the panel today, right? But let me get back into the Bobby Hemmitt shit, right?
In the book, when I read it to you, this book here deals with the subconscious.
Rue on YouTube. I'm not sure. I don't know you like that. I never seen you before, but you asking me personal. Look, I'm guessing you might ask me for my social right after. Is this is your full-time job? No, my full-time job is DJ Witch Doctor. You know what I'm saying? I'm a doctor. You know what I'm saying? I'm a doctor. That's my full-time job. My full-time job is being a doctor. You know what I'm saying? A DJ, that's a witch, that's a doctor. A DJ Witch Doctor. That's my full-time job. You know what I'm saying?
On page 2, Philip Cooper's book, Magic, A Study in Effective Magic. So you can also use this in the subconscious just for, not just magic as far as trying to blow up something, just for shit that you want to deal with and put energy to it, just whether you're on the job or whatever. Somebody fucking with you, or you want to get another promotion. This magic is supposed to be used for everyday life on that level. So therefore, you use it and you will it, and they got to give it to you. You understand what I'm saying? So he goes into the science and he said, well, let me give you a few exercises at the end just to build a psychic laboratory. So he's not necessarily saying you get into all the ritual and all that stuff. He said,
You know what? I think I've seen this full lecture before, but look at this, right? It's like, let's say you're feeling low on energy, but you need that little, you know what I'm saying? You wear, like back in the days, our ancestors wear masks of different creatures to invoke the spirit of the creature. So let's say I wore a lion mask, I'm invoking a lion spirit, like, you know what I'm saying? Type shit, you know what I mean? That's why even women wear different wigs and shit. You never seen a woman name the wig and shit. When a woman is wearing the wig, sound like the police. Wow, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? PhD and Mac. That's what I'm talking about. Show so to Raheem Ali. But women name the wig. You know what I'm saying? Right. When they got that Sasha Fierce wig on, they invoking the spirit of Sasha Fierce. You know what I'm saying? Some might be like, oh, that's the alter ego. That's a spirit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us think spirit is some spooky Casper the Friendly Ghost walking through walls type shit. Like I said the other day on the stream, we all could have a team spirit. It's an unseen energy that connects us to each other. You know what I'm saying? That we could literally feel that shit, and that shit could drive us to victory because our team spirit was strong. It's like the unseen force that binding us together type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like the spirit of the forest. The forest is a bunch of shit. The forest is not one thing. The forest is the trees, the insect, all of that shit. But you could walk outside and you could feel this spirit of the forest. You know what I mean? So it's like that unseen shit that's still connecting us. And shout out to the homie Free the Green. He said he don't believe in the unseen. But to keep it real with you, is more unseen shit than seen. Because right now in this room here is more space than there's shit that take up this space. You know what I'm saying? So there's more unseen. Some people be like, what do you mean is unseen? It's particles in the air. We could use different tools to see it. Of course, you could use tools to see it. So now it's seen. So you use the tool to bring it out to the unseen realm into the seen realm, and now you could see this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when we think about the unseen realm, a lot of time we think is another geographical location. Not everything is right here. Like we in the seen world and the unseen world simultaneously. You know what I'm saying? It's the same world. It's just, that's why I always talk about broadening your perception or your perspective. Because we living in the same world, the same realm, but it's different perspective. When people talk about different dimensions, the different dimensions is not different places. It's the same place, but just different perspective, different dimensions of perspective. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the unseen. I'm pretty sure you've seen the unseen. Look, that statement, I've seen the unseen, might sound spooky to some people. But somebody who work in a lab, they could tell me they seen the unseen. They seen the molecules under the microscope. I didn't see it. It's still in the unseen realm to me. But they glance in the unseen realm by looking through the microscope. But I didn't see it. Now, when I look through the microscope, now I can see the unseen. Seeing the unseen is not always some spooky shit. A lot of times, a lot of us make shit a little spooky to where people don't want to learn the shit or don't want to dabble in it because they think it's some weirdo shit. You know what I mean? But let me run a little bit of this. As a matter of fact, I got something even better. I wanted to show y'all this thing about mind traps, right? Let me pull this up, right? And as a matter of fact, let me tell you what a mind trap is too. A mind trap is an irrational thought pattern that can lead to negative emotions and unhelpful behaviors, right? A mind trap is an irrational thought pattern that can lead to negative emotions and unhelpful behaviors, right? These traps are common cognitive distortions, such as overanalyzing, filtering out the positive, or making shoulda statements. You know, I shoulda, woulda, coulda statements, right? But let me pull this up. I think I save it in my watch later because as a matter of fact, I think I like the video because I just watched it. These are the type of shits I watch early in the day. You know what I'm saying? I can't wake up early in the day and watch niggas versus women. Like that is it's too early in the day for that type of entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's way too early type shit, right? Let me see. And that's why a lot of people be miserable by 3 o'clock. By 12 o'clock, niggas is miserable because they start their day off digesting man versus woman content. They start their day off watching the news, somebody got shot. Don't come on. You gotta be mindful how you kick the day off. You know what I'm saying? How you start the day off could affect the whole motherfucking day. Let me paste this shit right here, right? And I might indulge in these conversations with y'all, but don't get it fucked up. When I'm off this shit, I'm off this shit. This is why I know some of y'all live this shit. This shit is y'all reality. It's fucking sad. It's crazy. You know what I mean? This is why y'all be crashing out. Y'all be crashing out and y'all be asking
get
me.
to the grapes, admit that he wasn't.
One time, let me bring it back from the start. One time somebody was like, DJ, why you always on the fence? Why you don't pick a side? Because I'm not that invested in none of this shit y'all talking about. It ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the shit from both sides. I'm not in the man army versus women, and I'm not in the women army versus the men. I'm not, come on, man. That is some childish shit. But check this out. This video is entitled 21 Mind Traps, right? 21 Mind Traps. Let me run this and let me check on the stream. I really want to end it on the what you call it. Shout to the Lord ADS in the building. And if you're watching from the Not for Humans channel, please click on the link that's pinned in the chat. We over here at the other stream. I'm gonna end it before the hour mark. I'm gonna end it on the Not for Humans stream. I guess I'll end it on the 30-minute mark and we'll just rock over here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say that, then stay on here all day. Just saying. I mean, look, you could stay. It's like you could stay in the world, but you don't got to be of the world. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You could be of the. You know what I mean? You could stay in the world, but you ain't got to be of the world. You know. All right, let's run this. I show you the no chase in the building. Salute, salute. Now, let me go up here.
You probably think you're in complete control of your decisions and thoughts, but how often are they guided by something else? Something you don't even notice occurring deep within your mind. Here are 21 cognitive mind traps, fallacies, biases, and other phenomenon that exists within your brain. Strange things that are hardwired into all human minds. You may go through your entire life or well into adulthood completely unaware that you're carrying around these thinking errors and mental shortcuts that influence your day-to-day thinking. You can't turn them off or delete them from your brain, but being one of the few people that can notice when they arise in your mind and knowing the situations they're likely to act upon your decision-making is one of the first steps to becoming a more thoughtful and rational thinker. This two-part series is mainly inspired by the works of Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman and his amazing book, Thinking Fast.
And we're going to speed it up a little bit because I want to get to the first mental trap. And by the way, we ending it soon over on the other side. I see we still got a couple of people over there. It looked like we got 15 people over there. Please come through to the other stream and make sure you like and share. As a matter of fact, we got 18 people on the other side. Most people are watching on the DJ Witch Doctor channel. You know what I'm saying? I really would like everybody to be in the same chat so we could all, you know, we could all be one village, one band, one song, one village. You know what I'm saying? We could be one. Show so the Zyrax. Zyrax is over there on the Not for Humans channel. Please, could you pull over to DJ Witch Doctor channel? You know what I'm saying? Raheem Ali is over there in the Not for Humans. Raheem, please pull over to the DJ Witch Doctor channel. Every now and then I'm gonna continue to post the link. I appreciate the homie A-Dub. He's also posting the link. Make sure y'all check the link that the homie A-Dub is posted. He's our Alaskan bandit, Eskimo bandits. You know what I'm saying? Eskimo bandit. And I'm gonna post the link. If you've seen the link in the DJ Witch Doctor channel, don't click it. It's the same link to the stream that you are already on. So you know what I mean? It makes sense clicking it. You need to end the live. Yeah, I want to end the live, but because a lot of people watch the other channel, they see it more in the algorithm. I'm trying to get this one in the algorithm also. So I'm gonna end it, but I just want it because I know people are gonna be notified over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to end it soon. Oh, it's already 30 minutes. You know, let's end it over there. Let's go ahead and end it. But let me run the mind traps in the meantime, in between time. If you're watching over on the other channel, it's gonna automatically redirect you also. You know what I mean? Give me a minute. I'm right here. I'm just about to cam down, and I'm just you know, I'm about to cam down for a minute, but I'm still here, right?
Cognitive dissonance. A fox.
All right, the first mind trap is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. Let me see if we could look it up too. Cognitive dissonance. Right, cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort experience when a person holds two or more conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes. All right, let me read that back again. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort experience when a person holds two or more conflicting beliefs, right? Well, two or more conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes, or when their beliefs are contradicted by their actions. Okay, I think I get the gist of it. Let me play this though. And there we go. Welcome Zyrax in the building. You know what I'm saying? The lovely lady motherfucking Zyrax. I bet y'all didn't know Zyrax was my cousin. Y'all didn't even know that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's a story for another time. You know what I mean?
Snuck up to a vine. He stared intently at the juicy purple overripe grapes. He tried to get at the grapes, but they were too high.
Wait. I usually speed up the videos because of the nature of the other videos we watch. But since we on some, you know, educational shit, we're gonna slow it down a little bit, right? And shouts out to my bro West Coast Freezer in the building. It looked like he's on the phone. And anybody watching from the phone is also gonna redirect to the other stream. I would like if everybody's in the same chat, just in case somebody in the chat shares some dope ideas or insights. Everybody else will be able to see it too. You know what I'm saying? Because the chat be having its own thing too. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, let me end the mobile one on my end too, right? Let me see.
Cognitive dissonance. A fox snuck up to a vine. He stared intently at the juicy purple overripe grapes. He tried to get at the grapes, but they were too high. Frustrated, he tried again. He launched himself upward, but came no closer to the fruit. He leapt for a third time, this time landing with a thud. Still no grapes. The fox turned up his nose. I don't really care. Only grapes that aren't even ripe. Why would I want sour grapes? He turned around and walked back into the forest. This is one of Aesop's fables, and also where we get the term sour grapes from. The fox had three choices: get to the grapes, admit that he wasn't smart or skilled enough to obtain the grapes, or to reinterpret the situation retrospectively. Or put simply, create a new belief that is in conflict with the first belief.
How many people do this? And sometimes I ain't gonna hold you, and I'm gonna let this play out so I could know if it's a good or a bad thing. But sometimes I done this before, you know what I'm saying? I done this before, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all done this before. I'm privating the mobile stream. I only got 4 people in there. I'm privating the mobile stream, and it's gonna redirect you to the stream that we at right now, right? So private. Yeah, let me check the chat. How much people do this shit right here? How many people do this shit right here? You know what I'm saying? Some people, they broke. Look. All right, let me say this. All right, but not on some real shit, no funny shit. Some people that say, "Oh, money ain't everything." Oh, these materialistic people. Oh, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Some people understand that money is material. Some people is not materialistic, and they understand money is just material stuff. But there's a lot of people that the only reason they say money ain't everything is because they can't get no money. They broke. Brokey. They brokies. No disrespect to the brokies. You know what I'm saying? I've been broke before. You know what I'm saying? Several times I've been, you know what I'm saying, touching the poverty threshold, the poverty line. You know what I mean? So some people say they turn up their nose and they be like, man, I don't want no money and everything, because they lean is like they say, uncertainty is scary, right? So a lot of people, they lean to whichever side they're more close to. So let's say somebody said, DJ Witch Doctor, you ugly motherfucker. But somebody's like, DJ Witch Doctor, you's a handsome young man, right? Let's say 2 people say that I'm handsome, but 5 people say I'm ugly. I'm going to lean more into the ugly shit because it's like, I feel like I'm more closer to this branch. So let me grab onto this branch. It's like we try to grab whatever branch is closer to us. We lean into this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's cognitive dissonance too. You know what I mean? You know you want some shit, or sometimes I ain't gonna hold you. I done this too, right? Like sometimes if you trying to get with certain, you know what I'm saying, certain chicks and they ain't feeling you, you know what I'm saying, you gotta start seeing them as a nigga. Look, I advise niggas in this space, right? Niggas in this space, you know what I'm saying, to remedy the thirst. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get certain chicks, or you thirsty to where you know what I'm saying, you can't, you know what I mean, you can't move a certain way, it's better you imagine them as a nigga. Fuck it, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be that pressed if a nigga don't talk to you because it's a nigga, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, cognitive distance. Shout out to the Cynical one in the building. Cynical, if you're watching from the Not for Humans channel, we actually about to end that soon, and we just rocking out at the DJ Witch Doctor channel. You know what I'm saying? Let me play this though. But that's the cognitive dissonance. Let me rewind it a little bit. And I'm gonna calm down, but I'm right here. I'm just trying to. I got too much streams open, so I'm trying to, you know, work everything out. All right, she said, okay, all right, cool. And I think Sin got a wrench on the other thing too, right?
The term sour grapes from. The fox had 3 choices: get to the grapes, admit that he wasn't smart or skilled enough to obtain.
Wait a minute. The fox had 3 choices. And shout out to the Hood Conservative in the building. Hood, if you're watching from the Not for Humans channel, please click the link pin that's to the stream for my other channel. I'm really trying to get this other channel in the algorithm. But it's always at least 3 choices. You know what I'm saying? Is left, right, or middle. You know what I'm saying? Is the positive choice, the negative choice, or the neutral choice. You know, it's always at least at a bare minimum 3 options to every scenario, right? Let me do this real quick. And let's welcome the Hood Conservative to the motherfucking stage. What up, Hood?
Morning, man. It looks like you're not doing relationship talk right now.
I'm relationshiped out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because
I feel you, bro.
You know what be happening, bro? Every time I take a 1-day break from YouTube, I do not feel like talking about the relationship shit. You know what I mean?
Nah, I'm putting together something right now. I came across this video about Logic being anti-black, and now I'm going down this rabbit hole about African philosophy and time, and I'm working on a whole show about it. I might get to that later after I get done with work.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, and could you answer without giving a spoiler? Do you think that Logic is anti-black?
It's not anti-black as in oppositional, but I don't think it's truly endemic to what we consider like the black culture. And this is what I'm learning going through like the African, because all right, weeks ago, I did a whole show that's like gone now, but I did a whole show about African time as an abstract concept. Because you know we have this thing called colored people time, you know, black folk always late. We don't really observe time rigidly the way like, you know, we accuse white people of being really stuck to time. And so I kind of went down a rabbit hole on that. And there is a little bit of truth in it. So like the girl in the video, she said Logic is anti-black. That's not really what I'm going to focus on, but I don't think that we as like you can hear it when we have arguments on panels. We don't have a rigid belief in the pure structure of logical argumentation.
I want to say,
this is
you
why,
know this thing. I wouldn't say Logic is anti-black. I understand what you're saying. I wouldn't say Logic is anti-black. And by the way, this is not a cigarette. This is the devil's lettuce. You know what I'm saying? Top of the morning to you, Reese. But look at this. I don't think Logic is anti-black. I think Logic is anti-religion. And a lot of black people, if you put black people in any religion, we more religious than the people who was in the religion before us, bro. I swear to God.
Because black people are very superstitious by nature, and that is separate from any religion. Like you can take that personality type, and they will become an extreme religious person under any scheme because of just the superstitious nature of it.
Why you think we got a superstitious nature? And I know what superstition mean, but I just want to look it up so we got like a concrete definition, right?
Well, that again ties to our lack of embracing raw, rigid logic.
But how could you say that? And we've been using mathematics and we've been using chemistry. Even chemistry is out of chemit. It's chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Kemet ain't Bantu. I don't like to assume that all of Africa is the black Africa. And so I know like people like to claim Africa as, I mean, people like to claim Egypt, but Egypt just ain't Bantu. You know, it's just not really what we mean when we say black.
Egypt is like America. Egypt is more of a melting pot. Is like a modern. Egypt is like a melting pot culture. Egypt had different people. Even Rome, Rome. A lot of places back in the days wasn't like that, like embedded in race and racial identity.
Well, I would tell you this: Rome almost certainly had black people in it, but I would never say Rome was a black thing.
I'm not saying it was a black thing. I'm saying it wasn't exclusively white like America.
But that's what people do in Egypt, though.
White nation. America is a melting pot, just like Rome. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what a lot of black folk have done with Egypt, and that's why I reject it. Like, yeah, there were black folk in Egypt, but I don't want to call Egypt black in the way that these people mean.
I understood why the elders did that shit because of black people, we got an identity crisis, especially black people in the Western Hemisphere. You know what I'm saying? We got an identity crisis. We've been detached from Africa. You know what I'm saying? We've been enslaved and shit. So we got identity crisis. So I think it was our elders attempting to attach us to some shit and to show us that we was great. When people was like we was kings and queens, they mean we all was kings and queens. They meant it was black kings and queens. So people that look like you, that share your phenotype, was kings and queens. But it means we all was kings and queens. Like who was cleaning the toilet? Who was sweeping the floor? You know what I mean?
But see, because that nuance isn't really prominent, the attitude is we was all kings and queens, so therefore you can kiss my black ass, right? Like it turns into this weird thing.
That was needed.
A weaponized identity.
No. That was needed to balance out the insecurity that we had, bro. That was needed. It ain't needed right now, but it was needed.
But that's my point. Do you think we're in balance at this point? Like it's clearly out of whack.
Now we off balance. I ain't gonna hold you because a lot of times we too embedded in egotistic shit and materialistic shit because and I think it's an attempt to overcompensate for not wanting to look like a broke nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean?
Well, not even that. I think it's simpler. I think it's just the rejection of the slave identity because there's too much emotional attachment to it. And I think even that is a thing that the elders have done to us. Like you've made us more guilty for being slaves than we should actually feel. Like, why should you or I feel guilty because somebody 100 years ago that looked like me was a slave? Why should I feel anything about that?
I understand what you're saying. You shouldn't be traumatized by it. That's what I would say. But you shouldn't forget it. But I don't think it's just the ancestors I don't think it's just the ancestors or the elders keep bringing up this slavery shit because like other people try to reiterate and remind us that we were slaves, bro. Like
let me tell you the experience I had, bro. In Baltimore, when I was a teenager, one of my first job ever was like a camp counselor, right? For like a summer youth program. So I'm a teenager and I have like a group of like middle school kids that I'm like their camp counselor, right? We go on a field trip to the Blacks and Wax Museum. It's a great historical thing in Baltimore, like one of their Black history landmark places or whatever. And we go in there, and the way they make you walk in, you have to follow like the path of it. You can't just wander. The first part of it is like the basement. It's a goddamn slave ship. And there's like noise, there's like people misery, sounds of misery are being pumped through the speakers and shit, right? There's like a decapitated head sitting on the top of a barrel, like a little nigga's head on the barrel. And it's all wax, mind you, right? So it's like you're walking in a house of horrors, basically. And then they walk you through other stuff. When you get upstairs, it's like, Michael Jackson and shit like that. But they walk you through, the very first thing they put you through is a slave ship. Do you think the point of that was to traumatize me as a child or to educate me about slavery?
I think the intentions for most people is to educate you, right? Or indoctrinate you. But I don't think the first intention was to traumatize you. I think that's just a byproduct. That's just an effect of the indoctrination.
What if people have studied the human condition, so I'm not that far off here. The trauma is a part of the lesson, bro.
Okay.
The lesson becomes more real because you feel it in your gut.
Right. I see what you're saying. Even exercising, because trauma is nothing in this reality, or most things are not 100% negative. So trauma is not 100% negative, because when you exercising, you put in trauma on your muscles. You know what I'm saying?
So look, I'm a teenager, right? I'm like 14, 15-ish, I guess, because summer youth, my first job. So I'm a teenager, a young teenager, and I'm in charge of middle school kids. So what does that do to their minds, right? I'm older than them, and I'm looking at it like, this shit crazy. You niggas out your mind. Like, I'm already a little bit above it at that age because I realize, like, y'all trying to fuck with me, ain't y'all? I'm getting punked right now, right? But what does it do to, like, the minds of children when you have to drag them through a slave ship mock-up? And then they spend the next 10 years hearing how awful white people are.
And show so to Free Zone, Miss Joy, American Tradesman. Come over to the other stream. We streaming on the other channel. I'm about to end it over here. We got 30 people over here, but we got other people who've been in. The earlier people is on the other channel. You know what I'm saying? It's pinned to the top of the chat. Please click on it so we all could be in the same chat. I'm about to end this one over here. I think the slavery thing does two things, right? It give us a subconscious inferiority, and it gives the people who their ancestors was doing the slaving, it give some of them a subconscious superiority. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't care how much money you get. At the end of the day, at least I ain't black. You know what I mean? Hey man, a lot of middle class white people wouldn't trade places with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I think a lot of that shit is facts. It's traumatic programming. You know what I mean? And show so to Michelle on the panel, you could chime in whenever you feel like, right? And by the way, that wasn't the topic. We talking about mind traps. So if y'all would like, I could continue the video. We just passed the first mind trap of cognitive dissonance, right? And I think some black people do indulge in the cognitive dissonance. You know what I mean? Sometimes a lot of black people think acting white is acting smart. So on some cognitive dissonance, they try to act extra ignorant because, you know what I'm saying? Cognitive dissonance. You're trying to disassociate from being smart because you think being white is being bad, or, you know what I mean? It's a lot. I think we do that shit all the time. You know what I mean? Show so to Manosphere Algorithm. If you're watching from the Not for Humans channel, please come through to the other channel. Reese, please come through to the other channel. I'm about to end this stream on the other on the Not for Humans. I'm ending the stream on the Not for Humans. I appreciate y'all. Let me play this video too. Y'all could chime in whenever you feel like, right?
Came no closer to the fruit. He leapt for a third time, this time landing with a thud. Still no grapes. The fox turned up his nose. I don't really care. Only grapes that aren't even ripe. Why would I want sour grapes? He turned around and walked back into the forest. This is one of Aesop's fables and also where we get the term sour grapes from. The fox had three choices: get to the grapes, admit that he wasn't smart or skilled enough to obtain the grapes, or to reinterpret the situation retrospectively. Or put simply, create a new belief that is in conflict with the first belief. When we choose option 3 and we have two held beliefs that are in conflict with one another, that is an example of cognitive dissonance. If you interview for a job but someone else gets it, instead of reasoning that the other person was better, you tell yourself that the job was no good anyway, or that
You see what I'm saying? You tell yourself that the job was no good anyway. Oh, that job ain't shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? Or if, like, let's say you try to holler at a chick and she ain't give you a number, a big forehead ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? You're overweight anyway. You know what I'm saying? Your weave look like you bought some cheap dollar store weave, or you know what I mean? You try to, but that was the same chick number you was trying to get. So you try to convince yourself that this woman ain't attractive. You know what I'm saying? Or you was trying to a lot of people who used to be trying to blow up in music and shit, they'd be like, man, all this rapping shit is dumb. Man, all this rapping shit. But that's because they used to be wanting to rap and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it seems so unachievable that they started disrespect it in a way to convince themselves that they don't need to fuck with that shit. You know what I mean? And show so to everybody watching from the Hood Conservative channel, make sure you hit the motherfucking like, hit the motherfucking share. You know what I'm saying? Don't spill your coffee whilst you're doing it. If you're feeling generous, tip the motherfucking host. We got Sugar Bum early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And Michelle, I think Michelle trying to say something. What's up, Michelle? Michelle, let's get a song.
I'm still listening at the moment.
Okay. There we go.
Can you hear?
Loud and clear. Yeah, we hear you. You coming in loud and clear. All right, I'm about to play some more of this video.
the interviewer was unfair. When people can't get what they want, they often tell themselves it isn't what they wanted anyway. When people don't want to follow through on something, they often find new beliefs to rationalize the action to fit the first belief. You think all rich people are greedy and evil, but you also want to be rich. The dissonance leads to discomfort, mental stress, and anxiety.
This is the one right here. This is the one right here. Take the wheel, Jesus. This is the one right here. You think all rich people are evil, but you want to be rich.
Damn.
You think rich people are evil, but you want to be rich. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why some people hate on people with money. You know what I'm saying? But they want to have money. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Shows out the A-Dub in the building with a $2 holler. He says support for the StreamYard. Appreciate you, A-Dub, for keeping the motherfucking lights on. You know, bandits, we don't got no motherfucking money.
Bandits don't got no damn money.
Don't be blowing me up, nigga. I ain't getting up. Ain't no use to you ringing my line. Stop wasting my time.
I need more money.
I need more money. We need a little more money.
Better, you tell yourself that the job was no good anyway, or that the interviewer was unfair. When people can't get what they want, they often tell themselves it isn't what they wanted anyway. When people don't want to follow through on something, they often find new beliefs to rationalize the action to fit the first belief. You think all rich people are greedy and evil, but you also want to be rich. The dissonance leads to discomfort, mental stress, and anxiety. If the dissonance grows more intense, it can lead to depression. If you notice dissonance, you can ask yourself, what are the two beliefs that are competing and are incompatible? Am I telling myself this new belief because I couldn't get what I wanted? Or is this new belief because I need an excuse to explain away my first belief?
I ain't gonna hold you. I think sometimes it is, look, I think sometimes cognitive dissonance could be healthy though. What y'all think? Yeah, I think that shit could be. You think
It's
now?
a sign of it's a sign of things being improper. That's like saying pain is healthy. Pain is their body telling you that something is deeply wrong.
But couldn't you say that that's like a type of mental reprogramming? It's like you trying
Well, in
to,
that sense, maybe, yeah.
It's like you was trying to be a let's go back to the let's say you was trying to be I don't know, a fucking you was trying to be a professional basketballer, right? But after you reach a certain age, you see that shit ain't happening. So you could to me, cognitive dissonance is like on an extreme level, but I think on a more subtle level, you could like reprogram yourself to not seek out that shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could be a coach or something. You could still do what you love, but you don't, because is a bunch of is not one road to I forgot what's the saying, you know what I'm saying? But it's not one road to your destination. It's several roads. Even if you put it in your GPS, you could say you want to go the route without the expressways. You want to drive local. It's different roads to get to the same place.
I think the basketball thing is it's a bad analogy for cognitive dissonance in that you have to accept your physical limitations, right? Accepting the physical reality of the world is basic human behavior. I don't think that's quite cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance, to kind of keep it in your frame, is to play basketball all your life and find out that there was never a professional league or something like that. Like it really shatters your identity as a ball player. Like, what's the point of playing ball if there was no future to it?
The cognitive dissonance is you leaning into the opposite direction of what you was trying to achieve. So they were trying to achieve basketball, but because in the example they give,
before we both get too far out of bounds, maybe we're both off. Let's pull up an objective definition and like in this part.
All right, let me pull it up because we did had it earlier, right? Cognitive dissonance, right, is the mental discomfort experienced when a person holds two or more conflicting beliefs, right, or attitudes or values, right? And is the mental discomfort experience when a person holds two or more conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes, or when their beliefs are contradicted by their actions? You know what I'm saying? It's like you saying, it's like how they say you want to be rich, but you're saying rich people are evil. You know what I'm saying? You want to get
exactly.
So it's like you're trying to convince you. It's like you're trying to demonize the thing that you can't have. Is like a way to make yourself comfortable with not having it.
I remember having this conversation with a homeboy a long time ago because he used to be talking this, white people stuff. You can't get ahead, and I'm like, bro, if you can't get ahead in this life, why are me and you why are we working so hard trying to get rich? If you're gonna sit here and tell me in my face you can't get ahead, like that's the cognitive dissonance,
right? It's like you leaning towards you. It's like you want something, but you demonizing it so you could feel comfortable not having it yet, while still working towards the shit. You know what I mean?
Can I give another example?
Go ahead,
that most people could kind of relate to. So you ever I remember when I was in my 20s, I got approached by a whole bunch of MLMs, right? They tell you, oh, you could do it. And they get everybody in this room and then they convince you that you could do it. They tell you could do it. But then in the back of your mind, right, they tell you could do it, but you're like, how the fuck do I do it? I've never seen it done before. But the people, they're doing it. So it's like you have to go against your own belief system to believe their belief system. But it's hard for you to get there because you don't know if it's possible. So that's another thing of cognitive dissonance that people fight
creative.
with.
Yeah.
You were walking into a scam, and one of the hardest ways to defeat a scam, the scams work on your own individual greed and weakness. And so you kind of have to be stronger than your own weakness to get out of that. And so it's like your mind is trying to warn you about something that's off here, and you have to be able to listen to that sometime and pull yourself away from the thing that's luring you into a trap. Because I've been approached about with pyramid schemes and things like that, and it sounds really, really good, but that's your weakness trying to just lead you into a trap. But your mind wants to warn you about these things, and that's what the cognitive dissonance is. It's your mind trying to warn you.
But it could be any job that you want to do. That's something that's out of the ordinary. That was just an example. It's basically you have to fight against your beliefs.
So the cognitive dissonance, right, is actually and I think we are kind of we all had it, but we didn't. None of us hit the nail on the hammer, right? The cognitive dissonance is the uncomfortable feeling. It's not an action of. It's not an act of doing something that's contradicting, right? Is the uncomfortable feeling you get when you do it. So it's like the example they gave is like, drinking is bad, or alcohol is bad, but you still drinking, or smoking is bad and you still smoking, or you saying women is bad, you know what I'm saying, or men is evil, but you still in the space, you know what I'm saying, conversating with men and women, you know what I mean? But the uncomfortable feeling you got while you contradicting yourself, that is the cognitive dissonance.
Since you broke the scab, let me go there. Like cognitive dissonance for me was like the red pill thing. What if they don't actually mean any of the words they say? Like that's the cognitive dissonance for me as far as like men and women. What if women are never telling the truth about anything? Like that's a serious cognitive dissonance, you know?
Okay. Shout to Crazy Uncle A-Bomb. He said, epic as always. I appreciate you for the support. That's on Hood side. That's on Hood conservative side. You know what I'm saying? Let's play a little bit more of this. I want to hear the Out of Mind Traps.
What actions can I take to change my behavior or mindset and eliminate the dissonance? Because when it comes to cognitive dissonance, you can play the clever fox all you want, but you'll never get the Gravesat way. The spotlight effect. You arrive 5 minutes late to the office and you feel like everyone is judging you. It's your first day at the gym and you feel like everyone is watching you. You spill a small amount.
Oh shit, this is the one. I thought that one was the one. My bad. I said that one was the one. This is the one right here. I know y'all felt this before, especially when you high. Especially when you smoke that Zaza. You feel like everybody is watching you. Everybody at the gas station is looking you. They know you did some shit. You know what I mean?
You be feeling paranoid after you smoke?
I used to when I was younger. Like I'm grown, so I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown. I don't care. Even when I'm sober, people think I'm high because I got like long dreadlocks.
You know, when people speak a foreign language, I always think they're talking about me. They're saying something bad about me. That's why I gotta learn foreign languages, just to make sure there ain't nobody talking shit behind my back.
You know what? That is crazy. Cause when I go around, cause I got a lot of Mexican friends, right? But when I go around their peoples and everybody start talking Spanish, I start getting a little uncomfortable. Cause you know what I mean?
No bullshit. Like, yo, listen, I gotta learn some Spanish to make sure y'all niggas ain't tripping.
I don't understand Spanish, but if I'm talking to somebody from any language, I could communicate with them to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how, but it just happens. Like, you know what I mean? But it got to be one-on-one. But if two people having a conversation and they talk and I'm not in the conversation, it's harder for me to understand. Whereas if me and somebody talking to each other or trying to talk to each other, I'll understand more than. I guess it's because we're trying to make each other understand. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of body language that'll make up for it too. But I think I know just enough Spanish to not get kidnapped in Mexico. But other than that, you know, it's
right.
Some words.
I know enough to get by and to get to where I need to get to and shit like that. But as far as having a full-fledged, detailed conversation, I'm about to be zoning out.
But now I was just talking about that whole thing, and like you just assume things sometimes that it's a crazy belief, right? But and I'm being honest, but it's a crazy thought that we have. Sometimes you just think you're the center of the what do they call it, main character syndrome, right? Like I know you're not talking about me, but I think you probably are, though. I can't help but thinking you are.
You notice that's why in the 4 agreements, the first agreement is don't take shit personal, because I think that's like natural for us to take shit personal because we seen shit from our own person. So how we gonna take this shit? You know what I'm saying? We got, you know what I mean? But the thing is, we forget that everybody else, because we the main character in our own movie, but we forget that everybody else is the main character in their movie too. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
what
It's
if
your
all
first
of
day
our
at the
lives
gym and
together
you
is this one big movie then? Like, think about it. If all of our lives together is one big movie, nobody's the main character.
But
Can I say something?
low key,
So we
Okay.
all
wait a minute. Low key, that's what it is. Low on the lowest of key, bro. That's what it is. None of us is the main character. The main character is our collective self. We just
I
smaller
think
selves
it's
of that we just smaller selves of that collective selves. You know what I'm saying? That collective self, that that's life or nature or whatever we want to call it, or God or whatever you want to call it. That is the main character. You know what I'm saying? But we all just having individual spin-offs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we the main characters in our spin-off, but we not the main characters. You know what I mean?
Can I say one thing? I think we all co-create together because you know, DJ Witch Doctor could be like, "Oh, I'm looking for some guests for my show that's entertaining. I need new flavors." And I could be here in my subconscious mind, maybe co-create to a DJ Consciousness that pulls me to his channel, or Hood Conservative, or Young Wise, or Michelle, right? It's
Right.
all pulling each other to co-create together. Or I could be looking for a client, and that client is looking for an agent, and I could co-create with that person. So whatever wants us, you know, whatever we want wants us also.
And she didn't say procreate; she said co-create. But
I said
procreating
co-create.
is but procreation is co-creation, because the man
It is. It is.
and the woman come together and they co-create.
I
You know
said
what I'm saying?
co.
No, you said co-create, but I'm telling her procreate is co-creation too. You know what I'm saying? Because two people come together. You know what I mean? It's co.
Yeah, it's an accidental symmetry. You're both right.
Let's run the tape.
feel like everyone is watching you. You spill a small amount of sauce on your shirt, and you feel so embarrassed because you think the whole party is going to notice. The spotlight effect is the phenomenon in which people tend to believe people are observing them more than they are. People are seldom interested in you and your actions as much as you think. So do yourself a favor, stop overestimating how much people are observing you, and reduce the anxiety that is probably just the result of the spotlight effect.
And this is what happens to a lot of people who got like social anxiety. They believe that when they out and about, everybody's staring at them and judging their every move and shit. Then they start becoming too self-conscious and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Wait, so which actor is there called sensory overload when you that type of thing? Basically, when you overstimulate your mind, kind of gets you to that point. Kind of called sensory overload when you're around your surroundings, you're taking too much information, and you overload because you have too much information in your brain because your eyes is basically sending information to your brain, and that's what it is.
Okay.
The anchoring effect. Whenever we have to guess something, let's say the population of Russia, we use anchors, starting with something we know for sure to be true, so it must be greater than 1, must be less than 7 billion, and is less than the population of China. We then take these anchors and explore the unfamiliar territory. Unfortunately, we use anchors when we don't need to.
Wait. Y'all get what he's saying? The anchoring effect?
Yeah, when I was in high school, I had a logic class, right? So it's like the mathematical approach to logic, and there was a theorem that it kind of applies to everything in life. If A, then B. If this, then that, right? Because almost nothing exists in a vacuum. If one thing is, if you can definitively look at one thing, then there's also something else that thing has to rest upon, right? If A, then B. It's a basic logic theorem that the whole world kind of rests on.
Whenever we have to guess something, let's say the population of Russia, we use anchors, starting with something we know for sure to be true, so it must be greater than 1, must be less than 7 billion, and is less than the population of China. We then take these anchors and explore the unfamiliar territory. Unfortunately, we use anchors when we don't need to. Take a moment to pause and look at these 2 questions. Is the height of the tallest redwood tree more or less than 1,200 feet? What is your best guess about the height of the tallest redwood? If we ask Group A these 2 questions and Group B these 2 questions, we would consistently get very different answers because of the anchoring effect. The words and numbers we use anchors people's decisions. But the anchoring effect doesn't only apply to numbers that appear informative, such as in the tree example. According to Kahneman, anchors that are obviously random can be just as effective as potentially informative anchors. An experiment was conducted on German judges with an average of 15 years experience. Each judge was read a description of a woman who had been shoplifting, then asked to roll a pair of dice, which were loaded to only add up to 3 or 9. As soon as the dice stopped, they were asked to answer how long they would sentence this woman. The judges who rolled a 9, on average, gave her an 8-month sentence. The judges who rolled a 3, on average, gave her a 5-month sentence. The researchers found that the anchoring effect was influencing their judgments.
Yo, that is wild. You understand that shit though, right? Like an
Isn't
anchoring
that
effect.
happening today?
Hell yeah. It's
I'm
like
gonna say
you
this with a lot. I was gonna say with a lot of black men, I see a lot of them walk around like they have to be this type of prototype. They have to live up to that image. I'm for real. And then when you talk to them, it doesn't seem like they really want to do it. They just struggling
You know
with
what I was
life and their
thinking about?
identity.
I swear,
What you
creative.
saying-
When I was thinking
what you
about
saying-
the show earlier.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out. So you're saying that the stereotype of the black man, right, is what a lot of black men use to anchor themselves, like they try to yeah, you understand what I mean, like the image of the stereotypical image of a black man. You think that's what
Yeah.
black people using to anchor
Some
themselves?
of them, yeah, like smoking weed, dressing this type of way, having this type of car. They try to emulate that, you know?
Well, think about the logic theorem. It's A, then B, right? It's black, then thug. It's black man, then
Bruh,
nigga.
fuck
This
I'm not
is
saying all
but
black
no.
men,
Shit ain't got
okay?
But
nothing
this
to
is
do.
kind of
Because you can
this
say
is
it
literally
for
what she
black
just
women too.
explained to you.
It goes for both.
Nah,
She
she's
just
saying that
explained
the
it to you, but
stereotype is like an anchor, like you like is like a
right.
it's like you
And
use
there's a
that as a
logic
base
to the
point.
anchor. And there's a logic to it, is what I'm explaining to you. It's almost mathematical. It's A, then B. And so, therefore, because I'm a black man, I am supposed to behave in these ways. It's A, then B. She just described it for you. And it's not really,
Why
like,
do
it's
you
not a shock. It's not even a
wait a
dig. It's
minute?
just the way
You
things
know it's
are.
crazy. You know it's crazy. Yeah, to me, it sounds to me like I think black is synonymous to being a thug, and I think that most black men try to emulate being a thug.
I think a lot of black men
Good.
do emulate being a thug because a lot of people do think it is synonymous. They think it's A, then B. Yes, they do think that. I don't know if creative believes that. I don't believe it, but we're observing reality.
I've seen it play out, and I've seen them go to good jobs, and then when they offer working hours, they doing this and they doing that, and they not structure, and then you be like, what the
What if
hell?
they ghost? What if they ghost from power? You know what I'm saying? What if they?
Bro, again,
I
that
don't
is a
know.
perfect
But you know
stereotype.
what though?
I
Exactly what
just
she's
be
talking
like, I
about.
just be
But you know what
amazed.
though? I understand what she's saying though, because I see the same thing.
Let me
Because I
point
see a
something
lot of
out.
people. Because I see a lot of people. The majority of people who try to emulate being street and exaggerating, it be people that is not from that life, that got good family and good background and shit.
Yes,
Typical.
Because
Typical.
in the hood,
yes,
most
DJ,
people.
yes.
Look at this. In the hood, most people is not criminals, and most people in the hood is not hard or tough or none of that shit. It's the same, like cause I live in the hood, you know what I'm saying? And I grew up in the hood,
Well,
you know what I
most
mean? But I ain't just no hood people, and I ain't just live. I only live in hoods. I remember I was living in what you call it, in Sandy Springs and shit, down here in Georgia and shit before. You know what I'm saying? But the thing what people don't realize, in the suburbs and the hood, it got the same archetypes, the same different type of people. It's just people. It's just one people. It's just your environment. This environment it got some paper, and this environment don't got some paper. It's tough people in the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? It's like probably some sort of jock or some. You know what I mean? Some sort of football. Some it's bullies everywhere.
Let me point something out to you. Now, in Ghost, I mean, in Power, right? Ghost wanted to go straight. It was Tasha who resented him for wanting to go straight. She hated that shit. She wanted to be the trap queen forever, right? Now, when creators first started talking, you know, the first thing I thought about, and I was researching this early because I was putting a whole show together. Popular song lyrics from like 20 years ago. If his status ain't a hood, I ain't checking for him. Gotta be street if he looking at me. I need a soldier. One who's gonna stand up for me. You gotta be good hood and he gotta be street.
But you know, but you know what though, that is crazy, bro, because there's women that don't want niggas that is street, but the thing is, them niggas want the look. This is what I be saying. A lot of niggas want Cardi B to be, you know what I'm saying, a wifey type chick. Niggas want the chicks that wanted a hood niggas. A lot of niggas want the women that want the hood niggas, right? And then they try to be a hood nigga so they could get them types of chicks, bro.
Oh wait, can I say something?
There's other women that don't require you to be on some. There's some women that if you ain't got a job, they ain't gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, sir, can I say something, please?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was gonna say basically the character of the Shannon Top Boy, though he wanted to make it out. When he made it out though, right? He has this big brother complex though, because he's the older guy in the hood and stuff like that, in London, stuff like that, right? Basically though, he has this big brother complex where he's rich and stuff like that. When he became rich though, he became more selfish, and basically the more and more selfish he became and self-centered. And when he started to lose everything, he literally lost control of himself. Because before, when it happened to him before, he had Sully, he had the Top Boy crew and everything like that. When he lost one by one in that time, though, basically he always found a way to be calculating. So it's similar to Ghost in a way, but the difference is though, is basically once he lost everything, he literally lost himself. Though he literally smashed that guy's head in because he literally threatened. Normally he's smart, but eventually though he became so selfish. He didn't care about cleaning up that mess he made before when he used to be smart and everything. And pretty much by the time, by the end and stuff like that, he literally robbed his own homeboy though, because they both split and stuff like that, because he needed to escape because he was wanted. And after that though, pretty much though, Sully literally took him out. And after that though, the chain ended up alone, with nobody. So basically, he has this big brother complex though with Sully, where basically he says though he can't handle that fact, that he wanted to be the big bro. That's it.
Okay. All right, and that's in the show Top Boys. Let's get back to the
let's continue.
Get back to the clip, you know what I mean?
Okay, please
Numerous
do.
other studies using arbitrary numbers like the last digits of phone numbers or social security numbers also confirmed our anchoring bias. In sales and negotiations, anchors are being used all the time, and there will be people who are willing and able to set up this mind trap and exploit the anchoring effect against you. The car salesman setting a high price from the start so that the price that he actually wants to get from you seems like a good deal. The $150 dress at the front of the store sets the anchor for the $50 dress at the back of the store. Online stores, salary negotiations, and real estate deals are all playgrounds for the anchoring effect. And it's one of our most powerful biases. You can't turn it off, but you can remind yourself of your vulnerability to it and try to proactively set your own mental anchors before going into any sales or negotiation environment. Take a look at these examples. Let's say I want to sell my book. You can get my online course for $1,999, or you can get my book for just $15. I anchor you to the higher price first, so that the price of my book seems like a bargain.
You know what I'm saying? You see what that nigga just did, bro? You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I'll be watching a lot of marketing stuff, right? And when you get, and show so to the most hated, most underrated bronze motherfucking flat power in the building, right? Sometimes in marketing, bro, like this one dude was saying, you always got to make sure you keep your most expensive product. You got to have a high expensive product in your store, and you got to keep that shit in the front of the store as soon as people walk in and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you could have other stuff out there. Maybe your most expensive shit in the top product that you selling. But once people see that expensive shit, all the other products that they buying, they're not gonna be tripping on the price like that, because they comparing it. They already anchor it to that forest price that they seen. They just walk in your store and you got a sweater for like 2 racks for the sweater. You know what I'm saying? Now you could probably sell them a pair of sneakers for $500.
Let me tell you, sales and marketing is another way to black pill yourself in terms of like the human condition, because most people want to believe that, you know, we're all incredibly bright and intelligent. We all make sharp decisions and all that, but Madison Avenue has you figured out. I promise you. The people who make commercials and shit, they have you figured out. So when you get into sales and you realize how people are actually very manipulatable. Like, that's not a word, but people are easy to manipulate when you understand basic triggers and things. And a lot of sales just works on that, like you just described it. You know, I put the high ticket in front of you so I can soften the blow with the thing that I sell. I sell a million of these things every day. And, you know, if I put the high thing in front of you, it's almost a lock that I'm going to sell this other crap to you now, because you're not going to buy the expensive thing. But this thing right here, this looks like your friend compared to that thing. Like, the way the people's brains work, it's been kind of studied enough that it's almost a science to itself now.
It is, because you know why? And that's why we was talking yesterday about stepping outside of your human. You know what I'm saying? If you could step outside of your human and see human as a different thing, then you could do shit like that, bro. Not like you literally not gonna be a human no more. It's just that you broaden in your perspective. You know what I mean? Knowing that humans is social creatures, right? You know what I mean? And we look at and we prone to groupthink, because we social creatures. It's not just humans, even dogs. This is why we could train dogs like that, because dogs is social creatures. Like most creatures that is social, you could literally do shit like social engineering. You know what I'm saying? You could literally do like mass mind control. Look at cows, look at cattle and shit. You know what I'm saying? Even a dog could manipulate the whole crowd of cattle and shit, because like the most social creatures is easy to manipulate them. You know what I'm saying? We're not just social creatures, but you could manipulate them in a similar way. You know what I'm saying? Because they're social creatures.
Your basic dog training techniques work exactly the same on humans, especially young children.
What you mean?
Sit, stay, speak.
I mean, look at this. To me, you know what I would say? The training, like reward and punishment. That's what I would say. Is similar with dog training, all animal training. You know what I'm saying? Even human training, reward and punishment. Like that's one of the most basic way to like train people. You know what I'm saying? Or train anything.
It sounds offensive because I'm comparing us to dogs, but we learn this through training animals, and then somebody eventually realized, well, animals aren't that far apart from humans. I bet you the stuff I do to train animals will work on people, and then we found out it works too.
Shows to the studio. He said dogs domesticated. They've adapted to coexist. Yeah, even there's other creatures that are even cats. You know what I'm saying? Cats. You know what I mean? I think we domesticate dogs though. Like we domesticate them.
I feel like cats are way less domestic than dogs are. Cats have whole outside careers and shit. Dogs
Right,
need
right.
you. Cats just like you.
Yeah, dogs are definitely more domesticated, you know what I mean? Anchoring songs like fraud. Anchoring is not fraud, it's more like it's more like persuasion. It's still manipulation, but I don't know if it's fraud because it's like you're still doing it on your own. It's just that somebody guiding you to do this shit, you know what I mean?
If I wanted to sell my course, on the other hand, I would need to find a better anchor. It costs $135,000 to go to college and learn the same things I'm going to teach you.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward to the other one. This one is oh, that's an intermission, my bad. Here we go.
The halo effect.
This one is called the halo effect.
What do you think about Alan and Ben? Alan is intelligent, industrious, impulsive, critical, stubborn, and envious. Ben is envious, stubborn, critical, impulsive, industrious, and intelligent. If you're like most people, you see Alan in a better light than you do Ben, even though the traits mentioned are exactly the same. When it comes to the halo effect, sequence matters. More weight is given to the first piece of information we receive. The first piece of information helps us quickly create a story of the person or situation in our minds. Sure, Alan is stubborn and envious, but that is only because he is intelligent and wants to win in business. And yes, Ben is intelligent, but he uses that intelligence in envious ways. The halo effect occurs when a single initial aspect of a person or thing determines and affects or outshines how we see the full picture. When you first start dating someone, both parties in the relationship are on their best behavior. You start to develop a halo of positive thoughts around this person. Small traits you dislike might begin to pop up, but often go unnoticed because the halo, the positive emotions, and the initial information you gathered on this person is blinding out any of the negatives. The honeymoon phase of a relationship is often when the halo effect influences your judgment the most.
So y'all understand what the halo effect is? I think it's kind of like I think dude, this video he's kind of over explaining it. I think the halo effect is when you attribute mostly good shit to somebody. Let me see. Let me just check it and make sure we're not saying no wrong shit, right? Halo effect, simple definition.
Well, the basic concept is like, all women are wonderful or all children are innocent, right? Life will tell you that some women are crazy. And you ever see Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son? That was a great movie explaining how, every now and then a kid could be evil for inexplicable reasons. A kid could be evil.
And it was right. Is when you attribute one good quality that you know about somebody to them being good in everything. It's like, let's say I know you a good speaker. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna assume that you just good at all that shit just because that's the first piece of information I got about you. That's my first perception of you. So you attribute, or let's say I'm generous. You know what I'm saying? You might not assume that I'm on some whole other fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? I might have somebody tied up in the basement. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna think that. You'd be like, nah, he's a generous. But being generous don't got nothing with tying somebody up.
We assume children are innocent, right? But the other day there was an incident in Chicago where all these little middle school kids jumped this lady and her son. And that's not even the worst type of thing I've seen, because there's another story out of maybe that Chicago area, I'm not sure, but it's the Midwest. A 9-year-old boy and another kid maybe, but I know a 9-year-old boy has been arrested for a horrible sexual assault on a young girl. And the question now becomes, when did that 9-year-old kid stop being innocent?
You know this thing? Kids are innocent in certain ways, but that don't means that all kids are innocent in all ways. And that's the same thing right here as the halo effect. That's a good example. But because kids are innocent, meaning they might be naive to certain shit that they ain't exposed to as yet, because they kids, they ain't had to pay bills, and so certain shit of the world they might not know as yet. but that don't mean that they're gonna be innocent in everything. That don't mean they're incapable of, doing crazy, wild shit. You know what I mean?
If we learn that someone graduated from a prestigious university, the halo effect will distort all other traits we attribute to that person.
There you go. If we think somebody graduates from a university, we assume that they're just smart. You know what I'm saying? They might be just smart in the subjects that they graduated with. But I know there's niggas that got degrees and a crackhead would run circle around these niggas, right?
Ooh, I got a
crackhead from the
story for
street.
you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So on this same YouTube, I met this crazy chick, right, who got on YouTube. And she would talk so properly, had a very good vocabulary, that people really thought that she was smart and she was this higher upper and she was all of this and she was all of that. And turn around at the end of the day, basically she was hired by YouTube to be a YouTube flagger, to flag people's channels down.
Oh shit.
So yeah,
Wait, do I know her? Do we know her? Do I know her?
No, you probably don't know her. But basically, yeah, she would flag people's channels down, and people would always gravitate towards her because she has the gift of gab, because she could talk so properly. But behind closed doors, she's doing a whole bunch of messed up stuff, and nobody would say it's her.
That's crazy. That's diabolical. You might gotta post her name. Is it hard to say her name? Could you post it in the private chat, or at least, you know what I'm saying?
I'll put in the private chat.
Without any evidence, Bernie Madoff was the darling of Wall Street, a legendary investor. The amazing returns and reputation of his company were the halo that made people also conclude his company must be trustworthy. The halo outshone the numbers that made no sense and the underlying fact that he was running the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. Numerous studies have shown that attractive people are automatically perceived as nicer, more honest, and more intelligent. The halo effect can also be found in schools. If a student answers 2 essay questions and the teacher gives the first essay a high grade, he or she is prone to subconsciously give that more weight and give the second essay a higher grade also, and vice versa for low grades.
I hate to point this out, but I think there is a slight correlation, maybe in the slightest. Like, I don't think extreme beauty correlates, but there is a correlation between attraction and intelligence. Uglier people are not always bright either. I just happen to notice some people are.
Wait. You say uglier people are not always bright? That is crazy.
I don't even want to crouch it as ugly. But there are people who are just dumb as they look, and I can't get away from that. Like, stupid does have a look, bro. I swear to God, some people.
Wait a minute, you gotta give an example.
Look at them and know. You can just look at some people and know, bro. I swear to God, I just look at some people and know that nigga is not right.
You gotta give us like 4 consistent examples.
It's hard because there's no celebrities that we would all recognize in that way. But like, I've just encountered people in my life that I've looked in my eyes.
Give me some examples in this space.
For example, this is a common thing. Almost every hood has that big crazy nigga, bro. Where he's bigger than the average, but if you look him in the eye, you know he retarded.
You gotta give me like 2 examples. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know examples that we can share together. It's just in life I've noticed that there is a look to stupid.
I mean, there might be a look to certain type of mental you know what I'm saying, mental disability. Some people might have certain
I'm not even going that far. I just mean plain stupid.
Nah, I don't know about that shit. I think stupidity coming out. I know hella attractive chicks that is kind of, on the slower side of the fence, you know what I'm saying?
I get that. Listen, attractive people can be slow.
Plus, remember in school, right? A lot of the chicks that had their head in their books, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't caring about their looks and shit like that. They glowed up till later on in life and shit, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's a little bit more like physical, like cosmetic appearance. I'm just talking about the way their face looks, just the reality of your face. I can look in your face and tell you're troubled.
Yeah. And shout out to Frida Green in the building. What's up, Peace of My Mind? What do you have to add to the conversation? You believe this? You believe what this dude is saying, that ugly people are stupid? You know what I'm saying? That you got a certain look to
I don't want to
stupidity.
use ugly though, because ugly isn't quite what I'm getting at. But there is a look though. It's not just an ugly thing per se. Although it tends to correlate, yeah.
Mm.
So some people who have developmental or cognitive delays, they do have a look to them. And it's not to, be mean or anything, but
Mm.
sometimes it has to do with the neckline, the eyes may be closer or farther apart, lips, and it just depends on, what their, I guess, diagnosis may be. And
Mm.
sometimes, again, they may not have a diagnosis. Like you said, stupid does have a look. And sometimes when people open their mouth, it's like, okay, you confirmed it for me. But I also wanted to, I'm sorry, is it okay if I go back maybe 5 minutes to what you guys were talking about?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, you guys were talking about, being from the hood and, how that can be detrimental to someone's mental health in the discussion you were having earlier. Is it okay if I follow up on that conversation?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, so with that, being from the hood is not a badge of honor, and we have this thing. It's within our music, it's within our culture, where we always have something to prove, and that something to prove is usually by, I guess, how much trauma you can endure, which usually
Mhm.
from being from the hood, right? But I think we need to. Well, hopefully, we can start moving away from that, and just because you're from the hood, it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It's like, well, what kind of hood do you come from? Do you come from a hood that is unified, that look out for one another? It doesn't always have to be O Block. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. But
Nah,
I
but I see what you're
Can
saying.
I say something to that?
Why you think, and why you think is why you think that is? Why you think like enduring trauma is like a badge of honor? Like you think it's some like slavery shit? What is that about?
I do think that for some reason we want to be as closely connected to the slaves and what they did back in the day. Um so bad, and we do it with any, like, we haze each other in this world
Mm.
pretty, and it's crazy. It's like, why can't you just be a functional human being? Everything does not have to be a catastrophe. Every sad story does not have to be a somber. I mean, every story doesn't have to be a sad story or a somber story. You can get through this world without being traumatized if you utilize your mind right. And if first of all, you got to know who you are. You got to know how to navigate through, through the time, and that's
You think
difficult.
that's an exclusively black thing? Don't you think people of other races got their own versions of that shit where most people try to be on the edgier side
They
of
like the punk, because now you have with the white people, you have, they skateboard kids. They are, but even they started acting like Lil Wayne, or it got kind of different for a minute. But uh, being from the hood, that usually comes with some type of violence.
Mm.
So, and that's the part where it's like, okay, yeah, you can be from the hood, but are you really proud of? I mean, again, it can depend on what hood you come from, but are you really proud of that? Like, what's so good about being from the hood? And if you make it out, don't go back.
You say if you make it out, don't go back.
Go back. Because you don't owe anybody anything. They'll eat you alive. You go back, because there's this thing. When I say make it out, it's like, well, I mean, all you had to do was go across the street, or go, maybe a few miles down, or just make better decisions. I don't really think you have to make it out of anything, but our own people, will
So you
say things.
think making it out the hood versus building the hood or building your neighborhood? Because you know what I'm saying. A lot of people yeah. What do you think about it? Leaving the hood versus building it up.
So if you're not a part of the problem, if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. A lot of people aren't willing to build it up, and usually what happens is you only have one or two people within the neighborhood or community or whatever it is doing everything. I believe in building everything up, but it just doesn't work that way, and it's unfortunate. But you have to have people who are, cohesive and who want to build. You'd be surprised at how many people actually want to destroy or keep things as they are. It's amazing. And you just have to pick and choose. You can still give yourself and contribute to where you can, and that's wherever you go. You just make sure that you're being a decent person. But when you go back to the hood, you have to be very careful, because we just have this thing about each other, and I don't know what it is, but it's like you left me behind. It's like, no, I came back to get you. I just had to go study for 4 years. It can get interesting. Sorry, I'm babbling. I do that.
And go ahead. I think Creative had something to say.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. Okay, me remember. Okay, so I think a lot of people talk about trauma and how they came from the hood and they went through this. It's almost like oh, I've been through all of these things, so I acquired this shield. I've been through all of this, so it should make me a little bit stronger. It should make me, because I've been through this. It's same thing like, slavery, or same thing like this. I have this historic sheet that I've been through. I overcame all of this, so I'm strong. It's kind of like you trying to prove yourself or prove something, and I do think you do become stronger if you did go through all those things. But I think people can't help where they came from. If you came from the hood, or you came from there, or you came from these circumstances, you can't really help where you came from. You can't help what you went through. All you could do is become better and transcend that and become an example. And that's what I think. If you got through it, be an example for your cousins, your nephews. Be a living example. Be a blueprint.
Okay.
I think when it comes to that, like, I'm stronger now because I survived it. It's almost like saying, because I survived a 4 alarm house fire, I'm stronger now. Like, no, you're mutilated now, and everybody can tell you're mutilated. And I don't think people realize that, like, surviving the hood, oftentimes it makes you less likable and less capable of functioning in the larger society. That's really what
I
the
beg
hood
to
does for
differ.
you.
Yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree with.
I beg to differ.
I don't
Because
agree
you're
with that.
conservative. You acquire a lot of skills by going through the hood, going through poverty. You know
You
how
acquire
much
skills
money you could
outside of the
save.
hood.
You know what you could live on. You know how you can survive with very little that you have. You turn the most little into unlimited possibilities. You see how the universe show up to you. You become more faithful in
These,
your
these are
endeavors. So
creative.
that's what I
These are
have to
all
say to that. There
these are
is a
What I
all
would say,
superpower in going
what
through
I
that.
would say
these are
that same
positive
thing.
affirmations. These are
But look at this
Facebookisms.
hood. Wait a minute, hood. What I would say to what you was talking about with the fire, you mutilated, yeah, but you gain experience. Like when people say we don't kill you, make you stronger. Even if you got the wounds and shit, you gain experience. And now if you're in a fire again, you less panicky. You are a little bit more equipped than the last time. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you know what I'm saying? Possibly.
DJ, what are we doing, bro? Is surviving the hood was such a positive experience. The people in
Bro,
the hood
wait a
would be
minute, wait a
warm and
minute.
they'd be warm and
Yeah.
friendly. They'd be happy. They'd be wealthy. They'd be healthy. They'd be less overweight. If it was such a
You
good
could,
thing, the people in it wouldn't want to get out of it.
I'm not saying I'm saying everything got its good and its bad, right? Somebody surviving the hood or getting out of the hood, you know what I'm saying, could inspire other people to get out of the hood. Or somebody could live in the same hood and don't get out of it and achieve good things, and it could inspire people from that same hood to be like, damn, I ain't just a piece of shit. I could achieve great things. On the flip side, right? On the negative side, right? Surviving the hood could make and celebrating it could make other people romanticize that shit, right? And feel like they gotta go through that shit too. And some of them don't even gotta go through that shit. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, the majority of people don't even gotta go through that shit. But I think romanticizing it could make somebody think that, oh, they gotta do that shit. And that's what I see be going on now. A lot of people might be celebrating, surviving some shit, or celebrating still, you know what I'm saying? They still getting money, even though certain, you know what I mean? They come from certain circumstances, and other people see that shit and they romanticize that shit and they try to emulate that shit. You know what I mean?
It almost sounds like we talk about the hood like it's a type of boot camp. Like the hood is not Paris Island. You don't survive
Bro,
this shit
life
and come
is
out
a
a
boot
Marine,
camp.
bro.
Bro, the hood is
You
a
do
boot
not
camp.
survive
The
the hood and
suburbs
come
is a
out a
boot camp.
Marine, bro. We're talking about it like it makes Marines, bro. The hood don't make Marines. It makes retarded people.
Bro, everywhere is your neighborhood. Like when you talking about a hood, you talking about a bad neighborhood, right? But any neighborhood is the hood is short for neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it,
I'm using the
anywhere you
black
live in
version.
is a
Don't official Oxford
bro.
dictionary me, bro. We're using the black version. Don't
So
do that.
look
Listen to
how
this
many
though,
rappers.
but
Look how
hood
many
conservative,
rappers.
but hood conservative. Anywhere you live in is a school, bro. Life is a school, and you graduate by becoming an adult. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Life is a school. So the hood is a school. The suburbs is a school. Growing up as a military brat moving from place to place, that
Is
is
Clown
still a
College?
school,
Is Clown College a college, DJ?
bro. Childhood is a school.
There's a college for clowns, DJ. Is Clown College college?
I don't know about clown college. I don't. That's
It's a
your
school,
ignorance.
nigga.
I don't know.
No, but it's a
I
school,
never
nigga.
Yo,
went to.
DJ,
I never heard about
the
that.
reason why Hood feel this way, because Hood be on his channel and he be making fun of the black community. That's what he
He
does
does. He
on a
does.
consistent basis.
He does.
That's that's
I
his
make fun of the
viewpoint.
shit I used to do all the time. Yes, yes. It's
Go ahead.
cathartic.
Go ahead, Pete.
Okay, I'm gonna come back in about 10 minutes. And thank you for letting me join.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you for coming through. All right, and let's welcome Auntie to the stage.
Yo.
But yeah, who we just who somebody was talking to. Hood. Hood is saying that Hood, you trying to demonize the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like if everybody in the hood is criminal and indulging criminality, people just talking about surviving humble beginnings, bro. I don't know what I don't see what's wrong with that.
No. The question was that, well, the conversation point was that people survive the hood and it gives them these great qualities that they can use in life in other places. And I say, no, it's more like the opposite. More of the time coming out of the hood, you're gonna learn anti-civilizational behavior that makes you less likely to function well in a greater society.
Bro, that is crazy to say.
Therefore, that's this phenomenon. That's how you explain this phenomenon of no matter how good a black person does, he never feel comfortable unless he back in the ghetto.
Hold up, can I jump in just real
Bro,
quick?
And you gotta end, but hood is assuming that everybody in the hood is one way, and that shit is crazy to me, bro. There's people that's got two family household, but they just live in a bad neighborhood. You just like, come on, man, go ahead, Ant.
No. This is real quick because I got an appointment in a few minutes. All right, so this is what you're talking about. It's just there's formal education, there's informal education. So I get it. You can learn some very, very messed up behavior in the hood, but you can also learn messed up behavior in the suburbs and everything else. But you can also learn good things about the hood, like you can hone your people skills. You can learn different things about business. It's really about what you make it. You know what I'm saying? It's a tool, it's a resource. So just like any other tool.
You can learn how to stretch some money and live. You can learn how to stretch some money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You can learn how to spot BS a mile away because you learn a lot of things. A lot of successful business people will tell you, you know what I'm saying, it's their street smarts that got them through. You know what I'm saying? They got them through and was able to, help with their people skills. You know what I'm saying? To this day, some of the biggest business deals are still closed on cocktail napkins in the back of clubs and stuff like that, just because, you know what I'm saying, people are just a little bit more relatable, and people will tell you they learned those skills in the neighborhoods that they grew up in. So, you know what I'm saying, a tool, a resource, it can be used for different things. You know what I'm saying? Like you can use those skills to destroy things, but you can also use those skills to build things. It's really about who you are and what you make it.
Let me point something out to you, bro. Theoretically, if you needed it done, I could whip up a batch for you right now. And no, at no point in my life selling crack at all have any of my skills applied in the real
This
world.
nigga trying
Not
to
a
whip
one.
up a batch in
Not a one, bro.
2025.
Not.
This
I'm just saying. Like I know how it's.
Imagine if
I
you
know
was
exactly
baking
what we're
cookies
talking
or
about.
selling
I know
cake.
exactly. I know
Wow.
exactly what you're talking about. And niggas overhype that shit to the point where we just gotta stop, bro.
bro,
Stop.
wait a minute.
Just
Wait a
What
stop.
minute.
if you
Just
was
stop
selling
doing
cakes
it.
or baking
Wait a minute.
cookies
Wait
with
a
that
minute.
same mindset?
Wait a minute. Selling drugs, right, is just an illegal businessman, but you're
Correct.
still a businessman. And again, hood, you assuming you literally correlating everything hood to criminality, bro. How much percent of people in the hood is criminals, bro? That's the bro, you over romanticizing this shit. You making this
I
shit
stayed in
sound
the
like
bounds you gave me. I stayed in the terms that were given, bro.
I mean, I would say this much. Even if you're running like an illegitimate business, I've seen some people in the hood with actual illegal businesses that have more upfront and straight up business practices, given the way that they run their business, the relationships they make, the fact that they can give their customers a product, a service that they want and they appreciate and they're willing to pay for. I've seen people with illegal businesses that have better business practices than people that have legal businesses.
right.
For real. That scam and plot scheme and pretty much rob their customers every single day. But because it's legal doesn't make it better. And a lot of times you can learn those legal bad business practices outside of the damn hood. So it's really about what you make it and how you make it, bro. I'm not saying everything that people learn in the hood is going to be a good thing, but it really depends on who the student is, who the teacher is, for the most part.
Um, Jay Morgan said, when they gonna save the hood? You see, y'all be over romanticizing shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, that everything that y'all say is a community, don't be a community. Somebody has said it the other day on a panel. A community is a group of families. Every geographical location is not a group of families, bro. Y'all just say everything is a community.
I
You
think
know what
that
I'm
might have
saying?
been me, DJ.
I think it probably was you on the last week panel. What's up, 18? What you got on the topic, bro?
I just joined in, man. I had to step away for a while. I'm just here listening because
Okay.
I just joined in. So.
This nigga hood is talking down on the hood once again. You know what I'm saying? Demonizing the hood. He says surviving the hood, you don't harness no skills from surviving the hood that you could use outside of the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get out of the hood, surviving the hood ain't nothing you could use from that shit. You know what I mean?
Um. Damn. You know what? I'm kind of on the fence with that. I can't even front because I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, as somebody that grew up in the hood, um, you learn how to survive without having much, and you learn how to make something out of nothing. But what I think he's saying is that outside of the hood, it's so much information that you're not privy to that you don't know that can be used against you as
Bro,
well.
there's
Like,
people outside of the hood that ain't even surviving. I don't
no,
I
I
think
get
it's
you.
more I'm leaning towards more what Ant was saying. It depends on the student and the teacher. It depends on what you, because it is not just it's not black and white, and it's super subjective. Because in the hood, first of all, everybody's not criminals, and learning and surviving
I
any
agree.
place, you're gonna learn something. There's no way that you could survive and not learn from surviving. Like what the fuck? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
I
That's
agree. But
that's rare as fuck. You know what I
I
mean?
give you the perfect example. Like, for instance, when we seen people that came out of the hood, um, like let's say people that was become rappers and stuff. People that
Mm.
came out of the hood, they didn't understand their contracts. They didn't understand the information that was put in the contract. So a lot of the times, what you don't know can be used against you because a lot of that was used to exploit them and be able to take a majority of the money that that was owed to them because they didn't understand the business, they didn't understand the information, they didn't even understand the wording
Right.
on a lot of things. So to a degree, I see that, but at the same time, yeah, I'm kind of like I'm kind of on the fence because it was a lot of things that I never knew, growing up that I had to educate myself on. That so I'm a little on the fence. I can see that to a degree, but
I wouldn't say what I would say would have been a more concrete statement is the hood ain't the only place that you could learn from or exclusively survive in the hood. You know what I'm saying? But I think surviving anyway, if you survive the hood, you gain experience that you could use. You survive college, you gain experience you could use. You survive the army, you know what I'm saying? You survive living in the suburbs, you know what I'm saying? Wherever you survive, you're gonna gain experience, skills to go on to the next level because you're gaining experience regardless. It's not exclusive to the hood. And I think that's what hood conservative that's what was hood conservative issue. He probably think is exclusive to the hood.
yeah, and
I think we're romanticizing by pointing out all these intangibles that you can't quite falsify. This is romanticism, brother. It is.
okay, you know
I
what?
don't.
And I can see that to a degree on what he was saying based off of the fact that what he was saying is that, like, for instance, we know most people in the hood aren't criminals, right? But it's a it's a high rate of crime that take place in the ghetto because it's an impoverished place in a lot of areas, and that aspect of it has been romanticized to a degree as far as the media goes. Anytime people think of the hood, they're going to think of violent crime. They're going to think of poverty. They're going to think of people trying to get by. So that element has been over romanticized, and we don't have, us as black folks, we don't have anything else to balance that out. It's not it's not a balance as much as it should be. Maybe in the 90s, in the early 90s, we had it, but now it's kind of like it seems that the criminal element is overly promoted versus anything else. So
I think the hood is overly represented by criminality. Cause I'm not look, bro. I'm not even obviously I'm from Guyana, bro. Right.
right,
And even in the hood in Guyana, the majority of people in the hood is not criminals, bro.
right,
The majority of people poor, sure. But there's people that got money too. Their family just live. Their family probably used to be poor. They come up with some paper and they probably still living in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So people just think that the hood just is like everybody in the hood is doing crime. It's some hoods that they don't even got that much crime because everybody know each other there. What you gonna do? Steal from your neighbor and they know who it is and know where to send the police. So it's just like we over exaggerate this shit like it's some sort of war zone. You know what I'm saying? Like Chirac. I don't know Chirac, you know what I'm saying? But I know niggas from Chicago and they said the whole of Chicago ain't even like that. You know what I mean?
no,
It's
not
probably
the whole.
parts.
Yes, it's parts. Anything can go down anywhere, but it's parts here, and it's over glorified. I don't know what's the media's agenda to try to make it seem like Chicago is the worst city in the country, which is nowhere near. Chicago is not even in the top 10 dangerous cities in the United States. We got our issues. We got problems with crime and everything, but it's a lot of people don't even talk about it's good areas. It's good areas with black people on the South Side, bro. It's homes, like
Well,
$1 million homes
think about
on
the
the South
language we're using, though. Isn't the language that we choose to use indicative of a reality we choose to not acknowledge? You don't survive your childhood. You don't survive a nice neighborhood. You survive cancer. You survive war. You survive an armed attack from a crazy guy in an alley. Surviving your childhood is black shit, bro.
No, that's not surviving.
Bro,
No,
you
that's not
survive
black.
anything, bro. Anything. This guy
Like
is
that's any person that's in a dangerous environment. So a person like, let's say you seen the movie City of God, right? Hood Conservative. You ever saw that?
Yeah, that was a while ago. They hated on the dog. Well, he was a crazy black nigga too. He was dark skinned. He was out his mind. He was bad.
Lil Z. But people was surviving down there. They was living in fucking favelas where crime was rampant. You know, you got people in Ukraine right now. They surviving. You know, a situation with war. Palestinians are surviving in a situation with you know, the
yeah, but you're describing war zones and third world poverty and comparing that to a black childhood.
You know what's wild, bro? You're gonna sit here on this morning, this Monday morning, you're gonna start your week off by telling the people that anything that was challenging, any challenge that you face, you survive that shit. It's like you're trying to minimize the other challenges other people face. You know what I'm saying? Somebody survived the traffic, somebody survived whatever, made it to work and shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't always gotta be extreme. It's degrees of the shit. You know what I'm saying? But surviving anything make you stronger.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you prove
the words you choose to use
by surviving.
The words you choose to use reveal a truth that you choose to not acknowledge. I'm going to stand on that.
And one thing I will say too with the hood, DJ, it teaches you to be grateful. Like if you grow up and you don't really have much anything, it teaches you to be grateful of what you get. And the hood also teach you to hustle. Everybody in the hood ain't slinging rocks. You got motherfuckers that get in the middle of the street and they sell water and t-shirts and socks. You got motherfuckers that open up candy stores out of their house. You know what I'm saying? You got people that do all types of shit.
They got people that open up, that start doing hair, start cutting hair. You know what I mean? Just different shit, landscaping, all types of shit.
Yeah, you got people opening up barbershops. People learning. Everybody that's in there don't want to, want to be involved in activities where it may cost them their freedom or cost them their life. So they try to figure out other ways to get out. I'm not saying it's the best environment that you want to live in, but to just act like it don't teach you anything and it's just a fucked up ass place in general altogether, I beg to differ.
Listen. If you ain't from the hood, then stay the fuck out the hood. No, if you ain't from the ghetto, stay the fuck out the ghetto, because you wouldn't understand the ghetto.
Yeah,
we say these things, brother. Like we describe these things in our own words, and then when we're challenged with it, we act like we didn't say the shit we just said. I refuse. You do that shit.
I get what you're saying. I know
like, why would somebody go to the hood if they ain't got no reason to go there? That is stupid. You know what I'm saying?
No, the point he's making is that it's such a chaotic, dangerous place. There's little reason to be there if you don't have practical reason to be there.
Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't even think you went to a chaotic, dangerous place, bro. Like, yeah.
What part of Brooklyn you grew up in, hood servitor?
I didn't quite grow up in Brooklyn. I grew up all over, but I'm from Fort Greene.
Okay. Fort Greene ain't really, well, it had its issues, but it's not a hood today.
Oh, Hood just dropped. I ain't dropped him, y'all. He dropped by himself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Like dangerous. I think we over exaggerate, bro. That shit is like every day is not a war zone. It's great.
You know what I think, DJ? I think what it is the representation. What I mean about the representation, anytime someone wants to let you know they're a badass, they'll tell you, nigga, I'm from the hood. It's the representation that people display. Yes, there's good things happen everywhere. You can learn from anything, but it's the representation, and it's never represented as a good thing until they're trying to, promote some type of development. Meaning that they're trying to build something there. They're trying to get more to the community. That's the only time it's really promoted actually good. But for the most part, what people typically do, they use the hood as a shield. And what I mean as a shield, they go out, nigga, I'm from the hood, boy. You couldn't survive the hood. They demonize the hood. They demonize the hood. They use it as a shield. And when other people hear about it, they can only think about the people that's representing it and using it as a sort of protection. And that's the problem.
You say that somebody shouldn't be proud of their hood that they from.
No, it's not about being proud of the hood, right? My whole thing is they're using it as a fear tactic. They're going around telling you, nigga, I'm from the hood. I'll beat your ass. You ain't from the hood. What hood you from? They're trying to figure out if you're from a more dangerous place than them to put fear in you for you to back off whatever the hell you're doing.
Anybody be saying that they from somewhere. Come on, man. And say where you from.
I'm telling you what it is. You never hear people, right, Witch Doctor, tell you that I'm from Beverly Hills. What and stuff like that. You never hear people say that to
wait a minute. So wait a minute. If somebody's stunting and popping their collar, they're not gonna say that they from a.
But they do it when they're at a point of defense. That's the problem.
Wait a minute.
With it.
Look, so the rich people do that at a point of defense. But the poor people.
No, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about.
No. That's not how rich people do it, bro.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about.
You're gonna say shit on people is defensive.
No, Witch Doctor. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people from the hood do this as a point of defense. Rich people just get their attorneys.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Not even that. Have you ever heard two white guys get in a fight and one guy scream out, "I'm from Cornell, bitch. I went to Duke, nigga." Like it just doesn't happen that way. Black folk do this weird shit with I'm from the ghetto, so I'm a killer. Like, no, I don't think that's what that means, nigga.
See, I don't, bro. That is crazy, bro. The thing about it, y'all sound like y'all want the rich to be able to represent, but if the poor do anything, it's like why the poor can't have pride. Why you can't?
No, it's not. It's not about.
You should only have shame.
Witch Doctor. It's
you
not
gotta
about
have shame
pride.
alone when you poor.
No, it's not about pride, Witch Doctor. It's nothing about not having pride. It's everything about when you mention the hood, not you per se. It seems like when people bring up the hood, they'll tell you, boy, you don't want to come to the hood, boy. You'll come out dead. Come to my hood. They're telling you it's danger, and for people who don't know the hood. They're going to be like, why would I want to go there? Everyone is telling me it's dangerous. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying what. Or if you say I'm going to beat your ass, they're going to say, nigga, you can't beat my ass. I'm from the hood. Where you from? You probably from some soft ass area. It's used as a shield.
But that shit in physically. If somebody shit in financially, they could be like, yo, I'm from Beverly Hills. Where you from? You probably from one of them poor ass projects, them brownstones.
They won't say that. That's what.
True. Wait a minute.
That is definitely true.
Because you saying that one could brag about their strength, but
it's not about bragging. It's not about bragging. I don't know. I think I really think I'm coming off wrong. What I'm trying to say is right. I'm not trying to say people from the hood are bad. I'm definitely not saying that. What I'm trying to say is when they mention the hood, they mention how dangerous it is. Most of the time you hear people say, boy, your block ain't I'm for murder capital. You hear these people say everything negative. They don't say, man, people in my community are building businesses and they doing this. You rarely hear people say that. They speak more on how destructive their neighborhood is.
Majority of times I hear people talk about the hood. You know what I'm saying? Especially on TV, is when they achieve some shit and they're trying to show that they came from that shit and they did this. You know what I'm saying? So they proud. You know what I mean?
Ain't nothing wrong with being proud. Ain't nothing wrong with being proud.
But you
I'm
making
from the hood.
Like
Witch Doctor. No. I would never do that, Witch Doctor, because I'm from the hood. I'm from Opelika, Dade County, right? Okay. And I grew up in a rough environment. But guess what? It wasn't rough for me because everybody knew me. See, they was familiar
And
with
this is
me.
what I'm saying is the hood is not rough for everybody. This is what we
But
was
that's
just saying.
that's
Everybody in
the
the
thing.
hood ain't struggling like that.
But the thing is I grew up doing a lot of knuckleheaded stuff.
Yeah, I think
You
you're
know, and
losing the
those
point, bro.
influences. I grew up doing a lot of knuckleheaded stuff. Things that I'm
Bro,
not proud of to today. But to go around and demonize the hood, like for me to go around and tell people, man, you can't mess with me. I'm from the hood. I am putting negative negative
How is
energy
that?
in the hood.
That is not always negative. You know what I'm saying? That is
No,
not
what I'm trying,
necessarily.
if I'm telling people the area that I grew up in, right? No, tell me how is this for property value? Tell me how is this for property value? If I go around and tell people you don't want to come to the hood, you'll get killed. You'll barely make it past 18. How is that good for property value?
Bro, who says that? You see, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Come
You
on.
okay.
hear
I
people
wanted I
tell
wanted
you,
to
you
interject
hear
real quick.
people, you hear people tell
This is
you,
an
I'm surprised.
exaggeration of what's be
No,
going on,
no,
bro.
no. You hear people tell you all the time, man, I was surprised that I made it past 18.
Okay, I
How is
get.
that good for
Okay, wait.
property value?
Let me ask you. Okay, I get what you're saying, Manosphere, and there's some truth to what you're saying. It's a lot of truth to what you're saying. Like, cause when I was growing up, it was the same thing. But the thing is, man, like a lot of these people, they don't even know any better because they're dealing with the situations in their environment, especially when you say how people are talking. You're talking about people that's 17, 18, 19 years old.
Exactly. He's not
That,
talking
that
about adults who achieve nothing, bro. The people who achieve be saying that this is where they come from. They come from the bottom, and but you talking about kids trying to like represent where they from and shit. That's like kids
I
doing that
don't,
shit, bro.
but the thing is Witch Doctor, I'm not speaking negative on the hood. I'm saying when people refer to it, they
no, I
come
get what
from,
you're saying.
they want to advertise the negative aspects of it. They don't
Yeah,
want to advertise the positive things.
I get what you're saying, algorithm, and you have to understand too, because here's the thing that I get where y'all coming from, especially the people that made it out. It seems like y'all want people to operate on the same mentality as people that got shit and people that has had experiences of learning better information to achieve and to accomplish certain things. You want people without the resources to act and respond in the same way that people with the resources do. We know in the ghetto it's not a lot of education. The education is terrible. The fucking food is like the shit that we're eating is not the best. You know, a lot of people are coming from fucked up ass circumstances, so the mentality is going to be different from somebody that was getting the information early on what to do, what steps to take in learning about property value, learning about different things. It's going to be completely different versus those people. And I understand being a black person that's coming from the ghetto, once you learn a lot of that information and you absorb it, you be like, damn, man, I never knew this shit. I wish I would have learned this shit earlier. And then you start looking at your own people and the like that. Y'all need to know this, so why would you
But that's not what. But that's not what's being said, right?
Like for me, when I talk Witch Doctor,
somebody's saying that they came where they came from. You know what I'm saying? They came from humble beginnings. They came from poverty and shit like that. That's literally inspiring other people who come from that shit. Instead of talking about the niggas who only say, "Oh, they from," instead of talking to the 17-year-old who's talking about the hood in a negative light, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even think it's fully negative. It's like telling somebody, yo, I'm from where it's hard. You don't want to fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the only thing they could use that shit for. If they was from Beverly Hills, the only thing they could have used Beverly Hills and stunt with is like, I'm from Beverly Hills. Well, your credit is like. So that's the strength of coming from Beverly Hills. The strength of coming from the hood is like they came from hardship. I could survive
But
You trying to
the people in Beverly Hills also coming from hardship. Everybody has a particular type of
no, you
struggle,
talking
and
about,
I'm not
bro. You just
speaking on
wait a
the
minute. You
I'm not
just said
speaking on the
somebody don't brag
struggle.
about coming from Beverly Hills, and I
I
was saying,
said, no, what I'm trying to say, which doctor is, right? Because I'm
mm,
from the hood. I'm not going to say the hood is bad because then I'm essentially saying that I'm bad because I actually come from the hood, which doctor. I'm not proud of anything that I did at that particular time frame. What I'm saying is that when I speak about the hood, I try to focus on the positive things. I don't brag about things that I did, when I was an adolescent. I don't do that whatsoever because I wouldn't want people to view the hood that negatively. What I'm
mm.
trying to say is more people need to promote the positive things that come out the hood, not the negative things. The only thing
But
the
that's
most
not
of the
what was being said. You saying something different. Hood is saying that's not what Hood was saying. I'm thinking you and Hood saying the same shit. He's saying that ain't nothing to be proud of about coming from the hood, and coming from the hood is not.
Don't misquote me. Don't misquote me.
What did
I
you
say
say
that
about
you do
Hood?
not gain very many transferable skills in the hood. All right, your career selling dope is not going to
Good.
transfer into the
Bro.
corporate
You
boardroom or
see what
into the
he's talking
mechanics
about?
office.
This is what I'm saying,
You're
bro.
not going to get a great blue collar career. None of
Bro,
these things that you're calling transferable actually
how much
transfer. We like
percentage
to
of
tell
people,
ourselves this shit because what
bro,
else are
hood
we going to tell
conservative? How
ourselves,
much
bro?
percentage of people in the hood is selling drugs? Like this is what the first thing he go
Well,
to
what
when
else?
talking about
What
the
else?
hood. But go ahead.
What typical things are you associating with the hood that you now say, well, because I did this, because we grew up living this way, I can now be successful outside of the ghetto? Because what you know what the
Bro,
ghetto teaches you? How to survive in the ghetto around ghetto niggas, bro. Once you get away from that, you need to learn a whole new set of rules and a new
I just
language.
said that. I just said that like
hood
a few minutes
conservative,
ago.
bro. That's false, bro. You saying
and
that
and and,
coming
and
from the hood
which
is no
doctor coming from.
transferable skills. That's what he's saying. And the first thing he associated the hood with is selling drugs and shit. How much percentage of people even sell drugs, bro? Like what the fuck
Well,
are
that
you
was my
talking about?
career. I was a star, so I was special. But my point still stands, bro. Like, what great? Because like even while I was there, I'm
Wait,
looking
Hood, you
around. There's
sold
not a
dope.
lot of activity. Not heroin, but there's not a lot of activity
Hood
going
probably
on
sold
that's gonna get you
a
that's gonna
seven.
get you a
He
career,
probably
bro.
stole a seven a kush. You know what I'm saying?
No, 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 no. But I'm just saying, bro, the shit that goes on is not highly transferable, and we just keep telling ourselves this lie because it feels good.
No, I like what one thing I think where you guys are coming from, Manosphere and Hood, like when you said the representation is not more balanced representation of black people
Exactly,
outside
it's
of the
not.
negative, outside of the negative. Like I said this before, I would fucking love to see a black Grey's Anatomy. I would love to see that. And I do get what y'all are saying. We have to try to. I say the people that are like minded get together and try to figure out a way to promote that, because we know that the media sources will never promote something like that where it's gonna show black people in a positive light on some corporate shit or some business shit or all black cast. That's not gonna happen. But if
The fucked up thing is, bro, the first thing that somebody think about when they think about the hood is drugs. The first thing I think about when I think about the hood is poverty. Like literally.
But
The
that's
first thing you're
but
thinking
which
about
doctor? I
is
get
selling
that though
drugs,
for
bro.
you.
And
Which doctor?
somebody,
I get
but,
that for you.
but wait a minute, let me just rock, right? And somebody who's saying that they proud of their hood or they proud of where they from, I don't see nothing bad about that shit. Y'all trying to demonize that shit like
But
only
they're
people who
not saying that they're
y'all trying to
proud of their
demonize the shit
hood.
like only people who from means should be proud of where they from and shit.
I
That
ain't
shit is
saying
Look
that.
at how
That's
you
not
just
what I'm
described
saying.
it. You just
that's what
described
you
it
saying,
as
hood. That's
you know,
literally what you saying.
DJ. You said out your mouth, when I hear hood, I think drugs and poverty, and then you said a person should be proud of drugs and poverty.
I never said, bro. Who heard me?
So
Put a
if the
one
hood
if
is
you heard
if
me said people
DJ
should be proud of drugs and
DJ,
poverty.
if you're telling me on one hand that you hear drugs and poverty, and then on the other hand you say you're proud of the hood, but the hood is drugs and poverty, How the
Bro,
fuck am
I
I
did not
wrong?
say that shit. I said the hood. The first thing I think about when I think about the hood is poverty. You the one
And
that think
drugs.
about selling
No, he
drugs. I
said
didn't say
poverty.
drugs. You the
No,
one that say
DJ said
drugs, bro.
poverty. He
People
said
in the
the
So you
first.
said
suburbs be
drugs.
All I'm gonna
doing
Wait,
say
wait.
drugs
is
too, bro.
all,
Everywhere
all I'm
people do
gonna
drugs. You got to be able to
we
afford
know.
drugs.
Witch doctor, we know one thing. We know music. We most people learn about the hood through the music, the content, the rap music that they actually hear out there. Now, name the rap song that pumps out the positive. No, name. Is there more rap songs that paint out the positive picture of the hood or the negative picture of the hood?
Niggas don't listen to J. Cole in the hood, bro.
Let
Nobody
me
listens to
before I
J.
answer
Cole.
that.
Say this.
Before I answer, go ahead.
My bad, DJ. I ain't trying to interrupt you, brother. I just want to say, would I say the negative are more promoted than the positive?
Exactly. That's
The
what I'm trying
negative
to
is more,
say.
but it's a
But
lot of
listen
Trap
to this.
positive.
music.
But
Is
listen
trap
to this.
music? Is trap
Listen to
music
this.
in Beverly Hills? No. Trap music.
Yes, it is. Trap music is
No,
in
no, no,
Beverly
no.
Hills.
We
But
know
they
they
listen
selling
to it a
drugs.
lot.
We know they
Bump
doing
it a
drugs.
lot.
We know they listening to it. We know
But
all that
that's
stuff
because
is
people who
happening.
ain't from
But
the hood be
but
fascinated with the
it's
hood,
a
bro. That's because they buy the
it's a
shit the
reason.
most.
Which doctor? What I'm trying to say is we know they got more drugs in Hollywood than anything. I'm not saying that. But when they refer to a impoverished area that's filled with drugs, they're going to talk about the black community. They're going to talk about the trailer parks. Based off the music, the representation that they're pumping out of there. That's all I'm saying. But we know most of that
Bro,
stuff goes on in
y'all
Hollywood.
mistaking somebody glorifying the hood from somebody who's speaking prideful of where they from. I'm not saying I'm
Just
not
name the
talking about
rapper. Just name the rapper, the successful rapper. I'm talking about up there,
Kendrick
top
Lamar.
five.
Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar.
You
Also,
said Ken. You
Kendrick
see what
Lamar.
you
Also name the people from the hood that control the music industry.
really Jewish people who really control the music industry.
Exactly, bro. You literally talking about some shit that is misrepresented, and that's crazy. That I gotta tell you that shit. That is some wild shit, bro.
And you know what's crazy about it? You've literally had artists who said that they wanted to put out certain records, and a fucking round table full of small head people would listen to that record and said, "No, you need to show more representation of where you from. You're from Detroit. You're from New Orleans. You need to put these types of records out because those are the records that's going to sell the most." Once a certain mentality is promoted and it brainwashes people into only wanting to see that, it's very hard to reverse it. Very. You got to have somebody that's
This is
willing to
why.
take a chance. Lupe Fiasco is one of my favorite rappers. Lupe never got the push that he should have got.
Literally right now in this conversation, right? Literally right now in this conversation, bro. This nigga hood is actually trying to add to the negative light the hood is being painted in. Every time we talk, he's mentioning selling drugs. Like literally, bro. Like you telling me that you telling me that the hood got bad representation while it's representing the hood bad and saying that you was a trap star, you know what I'm saying? And all sorts of shit, bro. And adding to it. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying that a lot of people just
Well,
is
how
saying
about you
that
niggas stop describing me as an angel then? I'll let me tell you how I was and stop making up how
who's
things are.
who's describing you as an angel.
Well, because it's like you're having this outside perspective of an internal problem, and I was inside of it, so I know.
How am I having an external? Where I'm from is even more hood than where you from, and I'm not trying to
I'm not even
struggle
saying that
that.
you're not. I'm not saying you're not, but it's like, bro, I
When
know
you,
exactly what goes on, and then you're trying to tell me I don't know what goes on when I was going on.
when did I tell you you don't know what's going on?
That's kind of the tone of these conversations, though. It's like,
You see
is this
this
shit not
man?
happening?
Bro. Hood is crazy, bro. Hood be on some different shit. Ain't nobody discredit your drug dealing escapades and shit. Nobody never said nothing to that shit. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is because you did that shit when you was in the hood and that's the only thing you did. That's the only light you see the hood in. But everybody in every hood is not no drug dealer. There's a few people in the hood. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't even on drugs.
Those are the stars. That's the alphas, the primes. That's who makes things happen. That's who everybody else is following. That's who the children want to be like. That's who the girls are fucking.
I get what you're saying, Hood, but I think a lot of that too has to do with the fact that you got people that's seeing an influx of money in an area that doesn't produce a lot. Where you got it's a motherfucking
right. So now
desert. It's barely
income.
jobs.
Now it's the primary business for a lot of people. Like, I mean, you're trying to take away from it, but it's just the way it is, though. And now, again, it's A then B, right? So because that's the way it is, there are other things that have to follow along because that's the way it is. But then when I say it in plain English, it's offensive, and people don't like to acknowledge what that really means. I know what it means because I see it intimately.
I don't think nobody offended, Hood.
I'm definitely not offended. I said there were certain aspects that you said that I agree with.
Now,
certain things as other things that I disagree with.
Now, Witch Doctor, guess what? I could go to my hood any day and I feel safe in it. I literally, truly feel safe in it, right? But I'm not gonna go to it. I've made it past that level in my life. I need to be building
if
up.
you don't know nobody that live there, like why would you just go there just to go?
Everybody would know me. If I walk through the neighborhood, people would come out, have the conversation, we would hang out, we would do all that stuff. But I had to leave that behind because look what a lot of people do go through when they go back to the hood. At the end of the day, you're in charge of your survival. You know what the environment is, what it entails. You've been in those situations. If you've been from the hood, you've been in them situations when that person did come back.
Manosphere.
I'm not saying that's for everybody though.
Nobody said go to the hood or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? All I'm talking against is when Hood was saying surviving the hood, you don't learn those skills that translate in the real world. And I'm also against the demonizing of people who proud of where they from and say what hood they from. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you should go back to the hood. I'm not saying you should indulge in I ain't even say you should indulge in criminal activities. I ain't said none of that.
That's like Witch Doctor. Like, look, when I moved out the city, bro, when I wanted to start a business and set myself up in the real world, nobody that I was associating with for the last whatever years could help me do anything. Nobody can help me with taxes. Nobody can help me filing paperwork with a business.
Bro, I've been through the same exact, bro. I've been through the same exact shit, but that don't mean.
Not only that, my daughter now off to college, and she's in the medical program, and I had to explain to her, you're reaching a plateau in life that most people in your family can't relate to. You're gonna start leaving your family members behind because of how far you want to get in life, right? This is the reality, bro.
Wait, you tell your daughter that she gotta leave her family members behind?
No, I'm telling her that you're gonna get to a place where you can't relate to them like you used to.
Okay. Yeah, and ain't nothing wrong with it.
You're just gonna be in a world they can't understand anymore.
And that's just
right.
Part
so
of growing.
That's my point. A lot of the people that I would have known, a lot of the people that I would have associated with, they can't understand what it takes to live outside of the ghetto anymore.
Look, man, I'm not advocating for people to go and live in the ghetto, for people to stay in the ghetto or none of that shit. I'm just saying if people's proud of where they from, I don't see what's bad about that shit. And also I don't see the hood as just selling drugs or none of that shit you talking about.
I don't either.
And one more thing, I do think when people survive the hood, they gain skills like surviving anywhere you survive. You gain skills.
We talk about the hood as if it's a war zone. It's what the people in that community makes
I'll
it.
talk about the hood like it's a war zone, bro.
No, it's what the people in that community makes it. Like for instance, when I was in the hood, I
Yeah.
learned a lot. I learned behaviors, how people could switch up on you, how people could do different things. And to this day, I use the skills of what I've learned in the hood in my actual life right now. Like I could see deception because I've been deceived so many times in the hood. I could see a lot of these things, and it comes with the territory. But I wouldn't suggest for someone to go to the hood. Hey, I want you to go live in the hood for 5 years to get smarter. I'm not gonna tell anybody that.
Like, why would you do that, bro? Come on, bro. You see, this is what I'm saying.
We're
Y'all
talking
saying
about
that shit is
skills.
not even necessary. Like, why would you have to tell? That's like somebody who got a business without going to college saying that I want to advise somebody to go to college. Of course, because it's not necessary. You done it without having to do this. So of course you're not gonna advise them to go and do some unnecessary shit.
Look at the
Let me tell you
example
when
bro
you
just
really
gave. But hold on one second. Look at the example you just gave about threat perception, right? When you come out the ghetto, your threat perception is thrown out of whack. Because you notice we be having conversations with dudes and they go left for almost no reason. And you be trying to understand why they went left because they perceive threats that aren't there. Because you spend your whole life fighting threats
Right,
that
check this out.
may or not be
Let me
there.
say this. Let me say this. A lot of the niggas that be popping off on the panels don't even be no hood niggas, bro.
That's true.
This man, everything that's bad, he associate is like, bro, hood conservative been traumatized, and I don't want to minimize his trauma. But you
Who are
need
these
therapy,
niggas acting
bro.
like when they pop off on panels, though? They're not acting like Chad from Rodeo Drive. Stop that. Stop
Hey,
that right now.
hey, you got a point. I can't even front. You got a point.
Now what I can say is
We
right
got a
with
point that they
Dr.
acting hood when they pop off. They don't always
Yeah.
act hood. They just pop off. So you saying only
That's what they
people?
revert.
So
They
you saying
revert to
only
type.
people from the
Yes,
hood
bro.
is? So you saying only
No,
people
no,
from the hood is tough?
no. They're embodying an archetype. They're reverting to a protective shell. That's what they're doing.
Bro, you associating that shit with hood because everybody in the hood ain't even tough, and everybody that's popping off on the panel don't be emulating like they from the hood. You know what I mean?
And another thing too, it's not just us. When you go to the other communities, especially other like white folks on here, they have arguments just like we have over here, where they make threats to each other and all types of shit. But
And they said they would like. They say them niggas be threatening each other to pull up and shit. Are they acting like they from the hood? Like this is what I'm saying, bro. Like hood conservative is like, bro, y'all let people demon, bro. Y'all that shit is crazy to me, bro.
Oh, come on. You gotta act like white guys don't have a whole
everything
different
that's
energy when they beef, bro. Come on, man.
bro, you just demonize everything about the ghetto, and the ghetto already got its own problems, and you just trying to demonize the ghetto, bro.
How you gonna demonize the place that created Demon Time? There's no
But see,
fucking way
here's
you
the
can
thing.
demonize Demon Time.
So are we gonna act like the ghetto just became the ghetto based off of the people that was living there, or the ghetto was systematically structured into being that? That's the thing that gets me when a lot of the times we had these conversations. I mean, because I understand both points, because I don't live in the ghetto no more. I grew up there, but I don't ever forget either that I'm one paycheck from going back. And I understand exactly where you're coming from, because some niggas in the ghetto you can't have a conversation with about trying to elevate or progress, because a lot of the times people are stuck. They might have made mistakes that they feel like they can't get nowhere. And it is a such thing as making enough mistakes where you're gonna be fucking stuck, or it's going to hinder you to a point where you can't really progress as much as a person that didn't make those mistakes. So I get it. But at the same time too, I know it's a lot of motherfucking cutthroat people that ain't never stepped foot in the fucking ghetto, that know more than me, that know about business, that do a lot of cutthroat shit. People that are more more advanced in business and everything, that do a lot of cutthroat shit, that do a lot of because they can get away with it legally. They ain't got to worry about the difference is in the ghetto between outside. Like, people do a lot of sleazy grease ball shit that they can get away with because they can legally get away with it. In the ghetto, you do a lot of sleazy greaseball shit, somebody might bust your shit open. So like that's the difference in comparison. But I get what you're saying, but I don't just want to just shit on the place that I come from. And I ain't been back in a while, but I still go back because it wasn't all bad.
He's just associating everything bad to just the ghetto, and it's like, bro, every level got its own devil, bro. There's a devil on every level, and everybody in the ghetto ain't on demon time or none of that shit, bro. The only thing I would say is the most common thing in all ghettos is that people is poor.
Representation.
You know what I'm saying?
The representation.
It's a common thing.
Neighborhoods that you saying that people are proud of, it's the negative it's the negative source of it. I'm not talking about the people who says all these good things and the businesses that they built in the neighborhood and what they made off it. I'm talking about the people that told you that I sold heroin on my block. I did all these other stuff that actually destroyed their community. Those are the prominent voices that you hear in the neighborhoods that we're speaking.
And I get what you're saying, Manosphere, because people are easily influenced. So I get what you're saying, right? But at the same time, I look at the standpoint on a person that says shit like that, and I put myself in their shoes to understand why they would say something like that, right?
And I understand that portion, but what ends up happening is, right, how when other people hear about the hood who doesn't know about it, and that's the only message that they're hearing, how do they decide to build in that community? What positive influences are they getting to build?
A lot of the times, those people are not building they're not coming in the community anyway. A lot of the times when the people do come in the community, you got other groups of people that come in there just to exploit the ghetto anyway.
What they're doing
not
now,
coming in there to hire us. They're coming in
18
there.
letter. What's happening? 18 letter. What's happening now? They're eradicating it. They're gentrifying it. That's what they decided to do.
And
they decided to say, let's push them out the way. Now they can't afford the city. Now they gotta probably move to Mississippi.
And guess what? All they're doing is shifting the property around. Only thing they're doing is shifting the poverty around. They're creating ghettos in new areas because it's not gonna stop. Just because they gentrify,
it ain't gonna stop. But that one spot that you call, the holy grail of your upbringing, is gone after that.
It's been that way.
But it's always been that way. I'm not saying they haven't. 18th letter. Just because you have a clear understanding, I have a clear understanding, Witch Doctor have a clear understanding. When the message is always pumped that if people don't survive to be 18 years old on my block, or if you come on my corner, I'm gonna clap that ass. When that's the message all the time that you're hearing over the radio, that's the problem.
But but look at this. But somebody like you, who from the hood, and you made something out of your life, you the person message that should be amplified to inspire other people to be able to see somebody like themselves come out of that shit. But hood,
that's what I do. That's what I do.
He's the only one on this panel that admitted to selling narcotics. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say it. He's the one that said it. You know what I'm saying? And he's the only one that everything he's talking about the hood is demonizing it. So he's actually amplifying the negative aspect.
I'm just too black for this panel. That's always been my problem.
He's amplifying the negatives of the hood. You know what I'm saying? He's not saying like, yo, I made it out. You know what I'm saying? I made it out the ghetto. You know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you what I'm hearing 18th letter saying. You're better off getting your lessons elsewhere. That's what I'm
talking about. With hood. What is hood saying, though? What is hood saying?
That's what I'm saying too. You're not getting getting great lessons here, bro.
Not what hood's saying. That's not what hood's saying.
But what I'm hearing is, hey, there's other ways to learn. You don't have to be here to learn. I experienced it. That's what he's saying. I experienced this, and I experienced the other side of the world. and you will learn far more and probably be more fruitful to this world if you learn elsewhere. It's the reason why people say, "Man, I'm trying to get out the hood." They're not saying it because it's a reason why they say, "Man, I made it out the hood." They're not just saying it just to say it.
And the crazy thing is,
What
right?
what
When
is
you
DJ?
say,
What if we consider the possibility? Maybe just maybe we were in fact raised wrong. Now what?
Bro, a lot of people is raised wrong, bro. A lot of people is raised by the TV. You know what I'm saying? There's people in the hood that's raised right. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the hood just means you raised
All right.
poor.
So what's the
Like, bro, you
what's the
just you
ratio?
think,
What
bro,
do you imagine
everybody,
the ratio is? Raised wrong versus raised right in the ghetto. What do you suppose the ratio is? Spitball it for me.
I don't know how to even quantify that shit, bro.
I can take a guess. It's probably
And plus,
less
raising right and being
less than you
raised wrong
want.
is subjective. Being raised right and raised wrong is
Well,
subjective.
let's use financially or economically productive. How about that?
Bro, how you gonna use financially and you know that and we just said a common thing about the hood, the disadvantage is the hood is poverty. You know what I'm saying? You growing up poor.
Like for instance, look at all the rappers. Look at the T.I.s, the Jay-Z's, the 50 Cents. Guess what they don't do? They don't keep their kids in the hood. They take them out of it. Because
Right.
they have a clear understanding that, you know what, I want you to live an easier life and be successful. So they put them in position to do that. You don't hear people saying that. You ain't hear now one rapper say, "Hey man, I'm gonna keep my son in the hood."
Why should they? They don't gotta
Hey,
do
look
that.
at
Why should
T.I.
they do
little
that
funny
shit?
looking son, bro. He wants to be a gangster so bad because that's the energy. I guess his dad too. He wants to be like his dad in some way. So now he feels like I gotta be a hood nigga to be me.
no, you know what,
Yeah, that's
and that's
subjective.
and this is where I would agree with Hood and Manosphere on, because I said that when you look at T.I. son and when you look at Boosie's son,
Mm.
it's because of the fact that it is no other representation of black men outside of
Now,
the
18.
hood, the hood
Look at
elements.
But
look
that's a
at the other
bad
son.
example.
Hold
But
on, look
that's
at his other son. Why is his other son not the representation? The nigga plays instruments, he sings like alternative blues or something like that. Like he
Okay,
but
is
look at
very
this.
much the
because
But
I
opposite.
agree.
why we
It's not
narrowing in on
promoted.
the bad example? What about Master P and Lil Romeo? You know what I'm saying? Lil Romeo
Yeah.
was actually in the hood with Master P. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't trying to live no hood life or no shit like that. And Master P is a good example of somebody who made it out the hood. I don't see Master P
But
actively talking about no.
but watch what happened though, Witch Doctor. The thing about Little Romeo, he grew up in the hood with his dad. That's different. It's not like as if his dad was Master P worldwide, then he had him. Master P wouldn't have had him in the hood. He would have had him out of the hood at that time.
Right. I don't think you should try to keep, bro. I don't think nobody should try to stay in the hood or try to be hood or try to go to the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't.
You try. I think
All I'm
what you're
saying is,
saying, Witch
all I'm
Doctor,
saying when
what
people
I
make
think that you're saying.
wait a minute. Look. The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because hood had said you can't have no surviving the hood. You don't earn no skills, right? So I'm just saying that people who's exceptional people, but they come from the hood, they should speak up more and say, yo, I came from such and such, so other people could see something else different. Not just say, oh, the hood is bad and just keeps that shit is like you keep reaffirming or is like that shit is like negative affirmations and shit like that. It's
But
kind of like you putting people
Witch
down
Doctor,
to live in the hood.
Witch Doctor, pretty much. I don't think Hood's conservative is saying that you can't learn from impoverished
But that's
areas
what he
because
said,
you
bro.
could. But let me finish.
Don't
He
try to
said the
save it.
hood. Let
Don't
me
try to
finish. Let
save it.
me finish. He's talking about the hood as in here, like impoverished places, like in other countries. You can learn a lot from, seeing what they're going through and stuff, things in that nature. You can go to Africa and look through stuff and see a problem, especially out there. You can go to Haiti, you can go to Guyana, you can go to a lot of different places and look at the impoverished areas and learn something from it. No one's not saying you can't. What we're saying is how the hood is represented in its current state right now. There's more
I'm literally
negative
saying
being
somebody
focused
like
on than
you.
positive.
I'm literally saying somebody like you, 18, whoever that came out of the hood, could be better representative of the hood than hood conservatives representing the hood. He's the only one that even mentioned that he sold drugs and shit like that. This is literally amplifying the
So what?
negative.
Am I just being more honest? Is that what you're telling me?
You're not being honest. You're not being honest. You just saying what you
More
amplifying
honest.
one part.
More
But
honest.
amplifying one part of the truth don't means that you're more honest. You gotta speak the whole truth and nothing but
If
the
you
truth.
don't add all of the truth, if you omit some of the truth, then you're lying by omission.
Well, then you lying. Because you're saying that there's no skills that you could gain from surviving the hood, and you actually probably gain skills from surviving the hood. Manosphere
I'm
algorithm
telling
said
you,
he
very
gained
few.
skills from that shit. And you're not
Listen,
even a good
there
representative of somebody who came from humble beginnings, because you just trying to shit on the shit and talk
there
about
are no
community.
practical, tangible skills, bro. I stand on that 1,000.
I hear you, bro.
You can't prove otherwise. Talk about all my soft people skills if you want. That shit don't mean a lot on the test.
I already talked about
That's not true.
I already talk about social skills, learning to live below your you know what I'm saying, live on a certain threshold or income, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of skills you could learn from surviving anywhere, and the hood is not exempt from that shit. You could learn from living in the suburbs. You could learn from anywhere. So the hood is
You can't even
it's like
pass the
you
bus driver.
exempting
You
the
can't even
hood.
pass the
It's
bus
like you
driver test with
exempt.
those skills, bro.
You say what? It's like you're trying to exempt the hood from being able from being an environment that you could learn from. That shit is crazy. Go ahead, Ant.
Like I said, you can't even pass the bus driver test with these so-called skills you talk about.
But Hood, what you explaining is a motherfucker is just a dumb nigga that don't know nothing. That's not just like, and that's just not with the ghetto, bro. Like
A lot of people
like,
go to school from the
it's
ghetto
just,
and they get scholarships and
that's
shit.
just a dumb nigga that don't know nothing, or a dumb nigga that don't want to learn nothing. That's completely different from somebody that's just living in that environment. Because I had to learn shit, but I do understand what you're saying, because for me to learn other things, somebody had to show me. Because when nobody showed me, I didn't know nothing but where I was living at. So I get what you're saying to a degree, but I'm always, I don't know, man, because I try to put myself in other people's shoes to understand why they think a certain way and what makes them, like, for instance, when Manosphere said earlier, niggas that talk about selling coke or selling, because I look back on niggas like that, right? And I'm like, maybe this is the only thing he was ever good at doing. He probably learned how to serve this and serve that.
Let me point something out to you, bro. And this is something I learned in firsthand observation, bro. Most niggas that's actually in the drug game are almost barely functional IQ. Most niggas are not bright, bro. This is why a lot of them wind up in jail. They get crazy bodies or they get caught doing something retarded, because you know what? They're goddamn retarded.
That's not necessarily true.
Right, bro. This
I mean,
guy
bro, the thing is, all right, so a lot of people will tell you that, look, I've been in boardroom when it come to these damn meetings, all of this stuff. And even the people at the top, bro, they'll even tell you, bro, they would want the guys that are poor, smart, hungry, you know what I'm saying, and have came from these beginnings. Not only are they easier to communicate with, but they actually understand the grind and they come in motivated and hustling. Look, I was born and raised in New York. That's why they always say in New York, bro, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, just because of the grind and the hustle and the bustle, bro. Now, I'm not saying that, just coming from, because I guess when you're talking about the hood, are you talking about like violence and all of that other shit, or are you just talking about like people being, for the most part, poor?
I'm talking about poor. He's talking about violence. Like how much people in the hood is even being violent or selling drugs. Or, he's like he's like over romanticizing and exaggerating the shit. It's like, come on, bro.
Because I think that's why
that's the common thing in the hood.
Yes, it kind of seems like you're having a couple of different conversations, because it seems like you talking about just being able to make something out of nothing, being resourceful, understanding how to communicate, making it happen, and he's talking about just being around a bunch of degenerates.
He's talking about criminality, and he's giving
I
the
mean,
false.
I'm not even being that particular. I'm just saying that you don't learn a lot of transferable practical skills. You just simply don't. When you want to learn, you got to get out the ghetto, bro.
Bro, you could learn, and that what you learn could help you get out the ghetto. You're gonna wait to how you getting out if you don't learn something that, like the Ann just said, being resourceful. Like being resourceful could translate in mad shit. You could be at a company and y'all could be low on some side of resource, and you learn how to balance shit out just because you're resourceful. Like sometimes you gotta know how to translate skills from one area to another. It don't gotta be the same area you learn the skill in. I think what does it mean? What does it mean? What'd you say?
I was going to say it's called perseverance. The ability to be able to, humbly get through life, even when times get tough. You don't give up. You don't look down. You're still able and willing to, just stay the course, because you know that eventually there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I mean, pause. You got to get it.
Pause.
Some people...
The rainbow is not pause unless I don't think girls gotta say pause, but that shit was funny. You got it.
Well, and I think either some people maybe naturally have it, and some the other thing too. There are some things that are just instilled within us, and either you built for it or you're not. And it shouldn't be this like hard story. Like, man, I made it out the hood. But it actually is. And not only do you have the hood, within the hood, you have the projects, which is a different hood. It's like,
yeah, go ahead, tell it. Projects a hood within a hood.
Within the hood, man.
Yeah, so it's like, well, now you got your level 2, and they in the projects they really do want you to check in, and they asking, hey, what's your name if you walking by? Like they don't just let everybody into the gate. You walking into one of those buildings and stuff. They want to know who you are. That stuff is real.
I'm just saying you can't tell me that you're.
Maybe that's the difference. You guys are talking about a lower middle class neighborhood, and I'm talking about the PJs. We ain't talking about the same place, maybe.
No, I'm saying this right here.
Even if you're talking about the PJs.
Well, and I just share that because I live and work in the community, which can be interesting, right? It's like, well, now they know you as a resident or citizen or whatever, but you also the case manager, or knocking on your door for things, and it's not always pleasant. It sounds like a very noble thing until you actually are in, within there. That's all I wanted to share.
You know what's so funny? You know who else could tell you horrible stories like I'm talking about? Social workers, case workers, people who have to check on people's kids. They know the intimate ugliness of it all, bro, and it would break your heart to hear these people's careers, man.
Yeah. No, you're right about that.
Right. Yeah, but you're right about that, but that don't prove the point that he was making. Everything he's saying got nothing to do with the point that he was making. That somebody that made it out the hood can't have no skill, can't hone no skills from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just experience alone is just the experience alone you gain from the hood or surviving the hood. You could use that shit in any other place, and it's not even just exclusive to the hood anyway. But I'm just saying this man is trying to exempt learning and gaining experience. He's trying to exempt the hood from that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's all I was saying. I was like, yo, anybody that's been through some shit is just more equipped to go through some shit than somebody that hasn't been through it. Just naturally.
To be with the people tell me.
I'm just saying, that makes us stronger.
Let Michelle get in there because her Her mic been messing up all morning. She didn't get to say nothing. Go ahead. I think her shit went out again. You got it. You got it. I think it was Peace of Mind or Ant.
I was gonna say you also learn to be, more vigilant. You hopefully not hyper vigilant because that leads to anxiety, but that does happen. You have compassion, a different understanding, a different appreciation for life, especially because, again, being from the hood and the projects, there's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of things that go on. There are things that you see and witness that you don't even want somebody else to see or experience ever in life. And I don't know. I don't think it has to be a thing of making it out or, being better than the other or anything like that. I just think it's more so, just be your own person and contribute where you can. Help the neighbors, help your elders, help your family. It's even now, I went back to my neighborhood. I had to move back home, and you'd be surprised at how many people just don't check on their grandparents, don't check on their aunt or grandpa or pawpaw or whatever. And it's like, well, that's priceless. Or the neighbor won't cut the other neighbor grass. Just, stuff that didn't exist back in the day. And so I just think, no matter where you come from, humility and compassion mean a lot. I don't want to give my Luther King speech. I'm sorry, but I'm just sharing from experience.
Yeah, that's a fact. Go ahead, and
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and Candy's right. She said you can literally. Yeah, I want Hood to see this. She's saying you can literally gain useful, tangible skills anywhere, right? If you can't learn any skills while living in the hood, that sounds like a personal problem. And that's what it is. It's a personal problem with Hood. The man is just hard to learn. He's hard to learn.
Well, I mean, like I say, it really depends on who you are. Because look, some of the biggest criminals, terrorists, whatever in the world, have some like grew up in privileged backgrounds, are some of the most formally educated people that you can think of.
Right. Look at the dude that deleted Charlie Kirk. He from a well-to-do background. You know what I'm saying? Both parents, you know what I mean? A very Christian background. You know what I'm saying? That's from a well-to-do family. That's not no skinhead trailer park white dude. You know what I mean?
And for the most part, it's really about how you use those things that you've gone through. Like people can use their privileged upbringing and their formal education for things that are negative. Like they can just use that stuff for stuff like greed and everything else and just prey on people. But at the same time, just like Peace of My Mind was saying, you can use your humble beginnings and just like Doc was saying, you remember when you had nothing, so you know how to make something out of nothing, then you know how to make something out of something.
Right.
So, and granted, that's not going to translate well for everybody. So I kind of understand what Hood's saying.
Of course,
it probably doesn't work out for him. But
that's like saying, and everybody from a well-to-do background is gonna turn out good. They're not. Just like everybody from a traumatic background is not gonna always turn out bad. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might come from a family that is like, they know they financially aware and stuff like that. That don't mean that you're gonna grow up and automatically got that shit. This nigga giving us a tour. Don't dox nothing.
Nice home, brother. Nice home.
Right,
especially down there in Florida.
Like I say, I think it all depends on your mentality, with it. Like I say, tools can build, tools can also destroy. Like I say, a tool can be a tool or it can be a weapon.
I think a lot of black folk self-identify with the ghetto, with the hood, however you want to frame it, whatever that means in your mind. For a lot of black folk, it's like attached to the self-identity. So for me to criticize it is to criticize the individual black self, which is a no-no.
I don't know.
No,
I don't
well,
know
and I
about that.
think your frustration too comes from hood. Uh, I think where hood's frustration may come from, and don't quote me on this, is that you have certain people too that they don't have a network of. They feel that they don't have a network of black people to really work with, like to be on what they're on. You
I think
know?
a lot of black people feel that way.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
honestly, I think college probably is a good way to kind of mitigate that because as adults, it does get harder to network. But college, I think for most people, black, white, or whatever, that becomes a great place where you can start to work some of that out. But I think as a general rule, you hear this complaint often from black folk who are like attempting to do things. They can't hire a lot of other black people. They're just hard to find.
No, I get what you're saying. I like when I hear you and Manosphere talk, it's like on one hand I understand because you feel that it should be better representation for black people in general, so they can have influence on going into another direction where they can actually build something with other black people. But then on the other hand, it seems like when we talk about the ghetto, we want people where it's a lack of education, a lack of opportunity to operate on the same level that people who are born in different environments have an abundance of that we don't. And a different mindset develops into that. Like even when we talk about, people that's hustling or people in the streets and shit like that, or the culture that comes behind that, that is a coping mechanism of trying to deal with in the environments that a lot of people come from. You get what I'm saying? And then on top of that, those environments have even been exploited on various levels that ain't got nothing to do with black people. And just like how we talked about neighborhoods being gentrified, a lot of the times black people was placed there because of laws and policies and fucked up ass shit that had happened prior to before any of us was born. So when you put all of that together, then this is what you really get. Because it's like I say, it's a lack of jobs there. They be like, oh well, go get a job. Where the fuck you gonna get a job at when it's none within 8 miles, within the 8 mile radius, and you don't even have a fucking car, or you in a situation where you born without none of that shit. So it's more nuances to it than what we're talking about.
Well, notice even what he mentioned. He mentioned like, okay, college, for example. When you're put into a college setting with your peers, it's not. I mean, it can be competitive, but it's more of a healthy type of competition. Whereas in the hood, it can be a very unhealthy type of competition. It can be an unhealthy type of competition. So even though people are competing with each other, it could be hand over fist. I mean, if it's a really impoverished community where there's gang banging and all of that, people are shooting each other and competing in just the wrong way. But in college, y'all are competing to see who's got the best grades, who can come up with the best ideas. People are working together to try to be a little bit better than the other group. So even if you lose, you're still kind of winning. You gain something. So it's really about, like I said, it's about one's mentality. That's just the difference between an institution of higher learning and the hood, for that matter. But you can still learn those skills. It depends on your mentality and how you approach it.
Right, right.
There's something about policy. We promise policy and program and resources because they sound like nice words, but I kid you not, you can give somebody a number and they call that number, and number one is disconnected or is not in service, or they have to get sent around to like 4 or 5 different people, or 2, they have to be on a 2-year waiting list in order to receive a service, or 3, they don't know how to maybe fax or scan some documentation in order to get the service that they're requesting. So, or they maybe can't read. It's some things to consider. And so we use all these nice words until you actually are out there with these people having to assist, and it's like, oh my goodness, like resolve this. And the truth is, you can't do it for everything. It sounds so like it's something we have.
Yo, is it me or is it you? You sung your mic singing a little bit choppy.
I'm sorry. I was saying that we have so many ideas, and, you know, we share things. Even in this world, you know, you have all these people protesting. It's like, well, why don't you go to school to be a counselor or a social worker or something? Someone can maybe alleviate some of the crises that we have in this world. But we actually moving backwards. Even when we're talking about putting mental health professionals into with police officers, I think that's the dumbest thing in the world, because you don't know what somebody has on the other side of that door. Once you are on the other side with someone else, you are at their grace and mercy. And
when you said what you mean they're trying to put on mental?
So now there's where they're paying crisis workers with law enforcement, pretty much to, I guess, de-escalate if there's something going on health. But it doesn't make sense to me, because if you have an armed person against an unarmed person, and that person is, you know, they're experiencing psychosis, or they're not even able to comprehend what you are saying, that puts everyone in danger, and it's just a stupid idea.
That's a lot of danger right there.
Yeah. You talking about having the crisis worker drive around in the police in the squad car? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
That is dangerous beyond dangerous.
They could just give the police training on how to deal with you know, how to deal with mentally challenged people. You could just like train the police. They are already armed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's up, Tequila?
Yeah, DJ, that's what the guns are for. I don't know why people don't understand that.
What are you talking about? For special needs people?
Be crazy at your own risk, bro. I don't know why people... Dude. You can't just let yourself be bullied by the so-called mentally insane. You either get down or somebody's going to lay you down, bro. That's the way it is, and I like it to be that way.
A lot of these people that ran down in the school, they had firearms and they was the mentally insane.
We're not even talking about the same thing, bro. I'm talking about law enforcement dealing with people who have mental illness. If you're so mentally ill that you become violent and hostile, I feel nothing.
Bro, but that's somebody that can't control themselves. They could be on some medication or something.
If I can't control myself, you're not going to cry about me. But if I tell you I'm retarded, somehow you cry for me? No.
That is crazy, bro. You could literally get medication or treatment, not really medication, but treatment that could prevent you from even doing that shit. That could save your life. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, they're not getting their medication treatment. They're actually resistant to it. And so if it's like, well, that's you're not being self accountable.
But how much undiagnosed shit they got out here? A lot of people it's not even diagnosed. They just out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I had worked with special needs people, a lot of them people picked them up. Their family then brought them there. They was homeless.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I mean?
And now we're asking police to be therapists. I'm like, no. If they're a therapist, then take the gun away. But that's the whole reason why you send an armed individual in there, because people are crazy and sometimes they kill you.
But look at this. Of course, some people gonna some is gonna have extreme situations where it's life and death, and sure, you might gotta take the other person's life. But I'm talking about sometimes you could prevent certain shit. Sometimes the mentally challenged person is a danger to you and themselves. It's just they can't help it. You know what I mean?
That's like
there's only so far your sympathy is gonna go, because at a certain point, you're asking me to risk my life for someone else for essentially nothing, because it makes you feel like you did the right thing. Because you feel like you're a good person, I gotta maybe get killed by a crazy guy because it makes you feel like you're a good person.
The cops sign up to risk their life, and if you're scared, go to church. Don't go and be a police.
Well, that's what the gun is for, though.
Bro.
Right. Now all of a sudden you're sucking
Bro,
your teeth, but that was
look,
the exact reason why he had the gun.
bro, that's a kid, bro. You trying to make that shit. You trying to overgeneralize that shit, bro. Like that's not the case all the time. Sometimes you talking a mentally challenged person off a cliff, or I'm saying off a ledge from deleting themselves. Sometimes they got a sharp it don't always be what you think it is. That from what I hear you saying, it sounds like somebody waving a gun and trying to delete the cops or some shit like that. That shit is not
No,
always the
what I'm
case.
saying is these situations are chaotic and dangerous by nature, and it only takes a split second for a person to go from peaceful to homicidal, and you never know when that's going to happen. And so I
And
don't
that's
like
why
this
you get the
automatic second guessing and judging and all that,
and that's
especially
why
when
they
I've
should
seen so many
train the
body cams, bro.
Bro, that's why they should train the police on how to deal with people. A lot of times, the police, a lot of the body cam shit that I see, bro, the police need mental evaluation because sometimes they escalate the shit to a level that it don't even need to be. Some of them
Let's
need
see.
um psych evaluation. But all I'm saying, right? If the police was better equipped when it comes to dealing with mentally challenged
What does
people,
that mean, DJ? Because just like a blank statement. You want essentially
bro.
cops to act as a type of therapist. What do you really mean when you say that? It's like a word that has no practical bearing in
No,
reality.
but let me answer you. Let me give you the practicality, bro. When I was working with special needs people, I'm not certified to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a caregiver. It's just so happened that the people I work with was high functioning. But every couple months they give you training. The training is like literally all of us on this panel could do the training. While how long we been up here? We could have done a couple of the courses already. It teach you how to de-escalate shit. You know what I'm saying? It teach you how to recognize what kind of behaviors you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? That would equip the police better with dealing with people, bro. A lot of times they come in crazy, slamming people down. They didn't even know that this person is mentally challenged. Like they can't help how they moving. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Some people is high functioning and they probably deserve what they get. You know what I mean? They probably know better, but everybody don't know that shit. And the police just gotta have like a little. It's not even a crazy course, bro. That shit don't even take that much time to do, bro. You just watch a couple of videos and answer a
Are you
couple of.
hearing yourself? It's so simple. All they have to do is take this 45-minute course, and they wouldn't have to shoot a
It's not,
crazy person who's on a rampage. Do you hear
bro.
yourself, bro? This is
That's bro.
liberalism
Come
gone
on, bro.
retarded. We're
You
being so
literally
liberal, we'd rather
trying
die.
to generalize what I'm saying, bro. All they
No,
gotta
I'm
do
putting a
a lot.
practical spin on what you're saying. The practical reality is if you take this 45-minute course, somehow you're going to be totally capable of handling a crazy
I
person to the
never say
point
you're
that you
gonna be
never need to
totally
pull your
capable. Wait a
gun.
minute.
It's ridiculousness,
I'm
man.
not saying you're gonna be totally capable. People do CPR tests and they're not 100% capable of saving somebody's life. I'm saying it's gonna better equip you when it comes to dealing with people like that. I'm not saying it's gonna just solve everything. Like nothing the cops learned so far completely solves not everything. Like name me one thing that the police learn that completely solves everything. It don't
There
work
is
like that.
there's
It
no
just
real
really
official. There's no way you can have an official training method to dealing with the mentally unstable. It is inherently impossible to categorize. So therefore, you take whatever soft approach you can, but ultimately, if he's a danger, I'm shooting him. And I might have to shoot you too if you don't get out my goddamn face about it. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you people. Why do you keep playing these games like a real life person is supposed to just put himself in infinite danger
bro, when
because it
you
makes your feelings feel better because you feel like a good person that he didn't do what you want him to do or
bro,
whatever it is. Like,
bro,
it's crazy.
taking a life and shooting somebody, bro.
Can I
That
just share?
shit is not some reversible shit. Go ahead, go ahead.
So I'll give you an example. So being in a therapy session with someone who's, maybe schizophrenic and they're responding to internal stimuli or external stimuli, whatever it may be. Once that door closes and they're on the other side with me, there's nothing I can do. There's no security. There's I don't. It's I feel like that. I don't like the fact that everything is being pushed towards it's just mental health. No, number one, some people are just wicked, but there's also different levels of care. So a person who is elevated or escalated or whatever it may be may need inpatient psychiatry versus they're getting into it with the police and now they end up with a record and in jail. They need the right level of care. And we don't really have, well, I don't know where you guys are from, but we don't really have many inpatient facilities or, well, not a lot of long-term ones. And some people really do need long-term placement.
Yeah, and I'm not saying better equipping them is gonna solve every situation, but it been a couple of shits I've seen on body cam footages where the cops overreacted, and it turns out that they could have literally is ways that you could de-escalate shit, or even if it's in a physical situation, because they teach us how to like disarm a mentally challenged person, or like, you know, like just physical ways that you could deal with them without like harming them, you know what I'm saying? Because
Hold on. How does this work, DJ?
Wait a minute, bro. Let me finish. You can't just beat them up, because a lot of them just don't be in their right state of mind, but you still want to get them under control. So it's different levels. You don't just go from 0 to 100. Sure, if somebody got a firearm or something, of course you're gonna gotta handle that shit differently. But I watched hella body cam footage when the police was wilding, and they could have literally went through some sort of better training. And as a matter of fact, they always blame it on training. Every time this shit happen, they literally blame this shit on training when they could have training and dealing with mental patients and shit like that.
But
Yeah, but you want the cops to be essentially orderlies in a psychiatric ward. No, that's not how it works, bro. That's why you go to the hospital, so they can treat you with softness and kid gloves. When you're in the real world, somebody might hurt you for being a big, crazy, dangerous nigga. There's no other way around that.
So how much mental patients done wander off and escape from the caretakers and shit like that, and the police had to deal with them? I literally had to deal with somebody that the cops beat him up, bro. They didn't even know he was mentally challenged. Because he wandered off, he got away.
Okay, fine. Should I now reorganize the entire concept of justice because of a crazy nigga?
That shit is wild, bro.
Yeah, you see, you just shut your brain off. Come on, don't shut it back on and deal with that.
Nah,
Do we
I'm not
reorder
shutting
the
my
concept
brain
of
off.
justice?
Your brain is already
Justice?
Your brain
Do we
is already
reorder the
programmed, and
concept
you
of
running
justice because some people are mentally unstable?
You running on your program already, like, you know what I'm saying? It's
I'm
not, you
trying to
just
use logic to the point where logic fails me, and it hasn't failed me yet. And so I'm asking you guys, what is the logic behind it other than it makes me feel good? Because you're basically throwing away the concept of justice because a nigga might be mentally unstable. How about this? Most of the criminals probably are mentally unstable.
I don't know about
You
that.
didn't want to think about that, did you? I bet you there's a guarantee. I bet you there's a concrete link between severe criminal behavior and mental issues.
You see,
It's
now you
almost
say
impossible for it
severe.
to be
The
otherwise.
thing about Hood, bro, Hood think he's slick. Now you saying severe, bro.
I am. I'm
You're
not
trying to
talking about
make it
regular
extreme.
people who
Of
sell
course,
dope.
severe criminality might a lot of times gonna lead to some sort of mental instability or something.
Okay,
If you
for
see severe. But
the guy in Chicago,
the average criminal don't got severe mental issues, bro.
the guy in Chicago who just say he's going around punching chicks in the face, bro, put him down and keep him down, because you'll never fix that. Whatever that is, you're not gonna fix that.
Go
Guys,
ahead.
for having this conversation.
All right, no doubt.
Okay, if I can tune in.
Oh, you say if you could tune. Oh, you at work. Don't get fired. You know
No,
what I mean?
no. Oh, goodness, it's just busy around here. You have no idea.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, that shows the peace of my mind. All right, go ahead, Hood. Go ahead and mislead the people, leading the people astray, bro. All I'm saying, like, Hood is too much of an extremist. All I'm saying is, like, the cops could take these tests like once a month, not even a 45-minute test. You know what I'm saying? A short test, teach you how to better equip you on how to deal with people. You know what I'm saying? The man is talking about life and death. All these situations is not life or death. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is crazy. Hood is normal.
I hear feelings, bro. I hear so many feelings, and the world doesn't solve. The world doesn't run on what makes us feel good. The world runs on what practically solves our problems. And I hate to point it
It's
out
not
to you,
about feeling good. It's not about feel good, bro. It's
it is.
literally
You're literally doing a feel good on me right now, and I don't respond well to feel goodery.
this man said all he hear is feel good. Like, bro, you gotta expand your thinking, bro. I think you've been in this space a little too long, bro.
Now it's shaming language. Now I'm what is it? I'm closed minded. These are shaming terms. I'm giving out actual problematic realities, and I'm being met with shame. It's bad form, brother.
Also the
Bad
candy
form.
cane. She said, I work with high function and low functioning too. Never had to put my hands on none of them. We learned de-escalation. Why can't the cops? This is what I'm saying. And it's not even no crazy type of lessons that you gotta learn. It's like literally a short ass class type shit. You know what I mean? With some
Because the real world is not your therapeutic mental institution. You don't have the outside does not have padded walls. You only get padded walls inside. If you want to be treated with padded walls, remain inside, brother.
If we're gonna always give the police the benefit of the doubt, they gotta have the right training.
I mean, I'm not even arguing you give police the benefit of the doubt. I accept that there are cops who go too far and maybe abuse their power. I'm not arguing that whatsoever. I'm just saying that this whole conversation started out with the idea of putting in a social worker with a cop, or now you say the solution is to train cops as social workers, and I say no.
Not as
There's a third
not as
option.
social workers, not as social workers, but the few things that the social worker will be able to add, you don't need a whole not a human in there. You literally just need like a quick 45-minute class to learn what you gotta do and just be updated on the shit instead of putting a whole human that is not true. So you want to put the social worker through police training because they had to see an issue that they was trying to remedy to even suggest pairing social workers with the
But how
police.
was your solution not what I just said, putting the police through social worker training? I mean, it's the same retarded problem coming
No,
from
it's
a
not.
different angle,
No, I'm
though.
not. Look, bro, you making everything I'm saying extreme. Not putting them through the full social worker training, but certain aspects of it, it will be helpful if they know that shit, bro.
No, I'm not trying to make it extreme. I'm trying to meet it exactly on those terms. Like the body of knowledge that you want the police to operate with would come from social worker training. And so we're combining
Bro,
the same
it's
thing. And I'm
nothing
saying
wrong
either
with
way,
that.
it's not
Bro,
useful.
it's nothing wrong with it. You're trying to insinuate that I'm saying put the police through a full social working training like a social worker. I'm just saying they should know
No,
certain de-escalation tactics when dealing with special needs people. They should know how to identify certain shit when dealing with them people. If we're gonna always give the police the benefit of the doubt, why not why not equip them with the right knowledge so we could feel more comfortable giving them the benefit of the doubt because they should know what they're doing. You know what I mean?
right. Knowledge is so incredibly subjective in this area. Like it's mental instability. There's almost no objective right, and that's why this is such a really squishy problem. And this is why I'm not. I err more on the side of you follow the authority because if you're mentally unstable, it's hard for me to understand you. And so, because you're hard to understand, you become a danger. And now that you're a danger, the list of operations of how we handle you get very, very short. And we don't
Bro,
have
you
time to
assuming
go out
perfect.
every childhood
Bro,
trauma with every
wait a
crazy
minute,
person,
bro.
bro.
You assuming perfect scenarios all the time, bro. There's
No, there is
literally
no perfect scenario ever. There's no such thing. That's my point. And you're talking
to
as if the
be
45-minute
better.
class can make a perfect scenario. It's not.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could minimize. It could minimize the fucked up scenarios. I'm not saying it's gonna make the policing perfect. Like nothing that the police know right now is not making them police perfect. So why is this gonna be something different that's gonna make them all of a sudden police perfect? They ain't policing perfect right now with all the shit that they know.
No,
You know
I'm
what I'm
arguing
saying?
it'll make them worse. You ever see you see RoboCop 2?
How
You
would
ever
it
see
make
it?
them?
Let me explain to you. In RoboCop 2, right? They did this thing where they gave RoboCop a DEI programming upgrade. I swear to God, this is like 1990 whatever when RoboCop 2 came out, but they gave him a DEI program upgrade. And eventually RoboCop electrocuted himself to wipe that old bullshit programming out because the DEI programming was making his policing impossible. And that's what I'm afraid of. You guys are trying to RoboCop 2 the police department until they just can't be police no more. And we already have that problem.
Hey, hoodservative, not necessarily, right? So check this out. Over the years, you've seen just different things implemented in the, policing, like body cameras. Now all cops are equipped with tasers, you know what I'm saying, rather than just live ammunition and pepper spray. Because of that, you know what I'm saying, fatalities when cops are working, fatalities and just firing their weapons, it's gone down. Just naturally. It's gone down because they've been able to put a little bit of voltage in there. So what Doc is saying, if you equip them with another tool, which is just some knowledge about how to recognize somebody that's mentally ill, rather than, you know what I'm saying, how to recognize them and separate them from just a disorderly criminal or something, it'll give them tools to do their job a little bit better. And it doesn't mean you have to totally change the way that they police.
That's constantly improving. They're gonna constantly add and take out stuff because society is something that's growing. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna add and take out stuff depending on what makes sense. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is that shit will better equip them and it will minimize the bullshit when dealing with mentally challenged people.
So they do actually have something like that already that they've been implementing and stuff like that. If you go to your city council meetings and things like that, or just pay attention to like the new updates that they're doing with your local law enforcement, they got this thing called CIT, which is Crisis Intervention Team training and stuff like that. And that's what they train for. They train for mental health situations. And then you actually have to get certified in it. It's an actual class that you go through all law enforcement will eventually be going through these particular classes. And they actually doing them. And a lot of places are requiring for their departments to actually have those things. Okay. So something's out already on what you guys are speaking on. And maybe that's also why a lot of, conflict with the mental health section has went down.
Right. I was just gonna say though, man, that for me, I've got a special card though. I got a special emergency service card. So when I phone the police, I give them a PIN number, right? A special PIN number. Oh, I do with it. When I give them that PIN, it alerts them about what I have though, right? And then they know how to deal with that situation because they were trained to do so. So what you're saying, you're right though, but I agree with you. So yeah, I got a special card to help me. So if I have trouble basically, phoning them normally, or if they have trouble understanding, I just give them the PIN and they'll understand how to do it.
So you got a card to let the cops know that you special needs?
Yep.
But at the same time, keep in mind, he's not in the U.S. And other countries, like, of course, where he is, I think he's in the UK. They've implemented a lot of things to keep cops from using deadly force. The same thing is going on in some Asian countries. I think in Japan, whatever. They said the cops as a whole in the whole damn country fired like 15 bullets last year.
That's what's up, because I heard a lot of the cops up there don't even have firearms. There's only certain department got firearms.
Yeah,
and they're all trained in just what you're talking about.
Right. I think it's probably in the UK. I think it's probably the SWAT team that's got the firearms. The normal patrol, police don't have them firearms.
And it does say UK crime is significantly lower than US.
Yeah. Don't forget they don't have guns. I don't think they have the capability of having guns.
You got like cattle progs, bro.
It's not like here.
Yeah,
I know, but I think it varies too, though. Actually, because
like their law enforcement walk around with like knife sticks and stuff like that.
Right.
Wait, but I was just saying, when you go down
But
south, you see it.
they have more knife crimes than we have, though, probably.
Yeah, that is
It
true.
says
though.
it says auto theft rates are higher in comparison to the US. Burglary is higher.
Wait, but actually check the south though,
But it
basically.
says
Because you go down.
homicides in the US is higher, and overall like violent crimes is higher.
Okay, that makes sense. But I'm also saying if you go down south, you'll see more of the higher crime. Like when you go to Brixton or Peckham and stuff like that, them areas though have a higher crime rate though, basically. So when you go to the south though of the UK, you'll see more of that. Not there's some sections though, because literally you don't
Yeah,
basically.
I do think like I do think stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up because I did see. I want to see if CIT training has CIT shown positive result. Our CIT training has proven positive results, right? Particularly in improving officers' knowledge, attitude, and confidence when responding to mental health crises. You know what I mean?
Yeah, give me some metrics, bro. That's gay poetry. That's metrics. At least something based on numbers and real world events. It's easy
Let
to
me
get
see.
distracted by
Let me
gay
see.
poetry, bro. We all got raised on gay poetry. That's why most of us can't think right.
This motherfucker right here, man.
Well,
Let me see.
yeah, but yeah, I kind of feel you on that though, to be honest. So yeah, you have a point though. That's probably like, you know, when you go to some areas in the south, it's like a full no-go zone area. They literally tell you not to go there. But yeah, that's pretty much everywhere though. So I kind of get you on that. Though I know I'm in a different place here, in a different place. It's kind of different over there than it's here. But I get you on that.
Let me see. Percentages. It says in some places the arrest rate dropped to less than 15% for mental health crisis call. Right? But this Chat GPT, let me see if I could get the source article.
So,
but I would assume, but I would only assume
okay.
that, like, I would just only assume without even looking that shit up. That is where you're gonna see the positive results. You know what I mean?
But you can only assume. You can't verify, and that's how they get you. And we're probably talking about millions and millions of dollars in tax money being spent on programs that we can't verify the efficacy of, right? There was a scholar, Roland Fry. He was a Harvard professor, actually, and he did a study about police shootings and violence, and he was questioning whether or not police actually shot more black people. And what he found out is that while the police are more likely to be physically aggressive with black people, so pushing, slapping, even a beating or something like that, they're way less likely to actually shoot you. And so when you start to dig into these numbers, you reveal a truth that doesn't really play well for the news media, bro.
I believe 15% reduction rate in mental health, situation is huge when you really look at the numbers on a large scale.
I'm looking at it, and it's showing it shows in it says some percentage that it says in Memphis, right? Officers arrest only 6% of mental disturbance call, by comparison to 13%. Right? So 13 so only 6% of the
That's more than half. That's more than half.
So that means they're not arresting them as much, but
No,
Does it
because they
change
know
anything
who they're
else?
dealing with, because they know they're dealing with mental patients. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you just get to be crazy and dangerous and oh yeah, that's
Right,
crazy
right.
Bob. He's all right. You know, we're
No,
not
they
gonna
know
shoot
how to
crazy Bob.
de-escalate. No, they learn how to de-escalate the situation, bro.
The
Like a
thing
lot
is,
of
yeah,
times you're dealing with a mental person, they're not complying, and you think they're not complying because they just trying to not comply, but they probably don't even understand what you're saying, or you know what I mean? Like
Like, can
bro,
you
I don't know.
imagine? Can you imagine a cop going to a scene, right? And he's telling the guy to do something, and he believed the guy's ignoring him. And in reality, the guy's deaf. He really doesn't really hear what's actually going on, but he's deaf. That's why you should be aware of many different situations.
Now we're just writing comedy, brother. This is a
no,
comedy. This is
no,
Comedy
it's
Central.
making
This is a
sense.
plot from Saturday Night Live.
Nah, for real, Hood though, it's making sense because it's just like having an interpreter on deck. Just like you said, you can be giving somebody what you believe is a lawful order, but in actuality, they just don't
Oh,
understand. Wait a
it's
second, let
like
me
having an
let me
interpreter.
finish.
Speak crazy for me
Yeah,
then. Speak
yeah.
crazy.
You might
Say
think
something
you're
in
giving
crazy then.
somebody a lawful order, but in actuality, they don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that's true.
So the same can apply for somebody that's mentally unstable, mentally ill, has a special condition or whatever. So it's nice to at least be able to recognize the difference between somebody that's disobeying a lawful order and somebody that's just mentally unstable and they're not capable of even understanding what a lawful order is.
Right, right.
Exactly.
It's not like their intentions to not comply. They just don't know what's going on, bro. And if you could identify that, you could probably alter how you communicating to them. As a matter of fact, you might even learn how to communicate with them through the training.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they won't have no class that says like CIT, crisis intervention training, without them actually going thorough with it. I wonder how long that class is. It's probably longer than a couple of hours.
Now it says it's all together is 40 hours, right?
Oh,
But
okay,
it's not
okay.
like 40 hours like back to back 40 hours. It's like all the training. Like maybe every week you log in and do a couple, you know what I'm saying? The training don't.
See if it has like an actual thing where you do it on a computer, or you gotta like literally physically be in the class.
Let me see.
That makes all the difference in the world.
Okay, it's 40 hours long and is usually completed in 1 week.
I could imagine that's have to be something you have to do in person, because anybody could just turn the computer on and let it roll, versus
Now,
you
of course, it's
actually.
probably a hybrid, or it probably you go in there and you because you still gotta watch the modules and stuff, right? So you probably, but I'm pretty sure you can't do no training like this without going in person. Even when I had to do training, I had to go in there in person and they had to demonstrate how to deal with these people physically. You know what I'm saying? And we literally had everybody had a chance to demonstrate to show that they know what to do. Because you can't just say that you know what to do and they let you work with these people. You literally got to demonstrate. Like we had to pair up with partners and shit. You know what I'm saying? And role play like you dealing with a a mentally challenged person. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this
So
is something in a positive direction. Now we got something positively that's out there that's surrounding many states, hopefully everywhere pretty soon. Depending on funding, that can actually help guide people through these mental health episodes that people are going through.
And shows her the fighter, he said, I'd say out of 1 million of interaction with cops and citizens, I'd say 95% don't get hurt. Cops don't get a gun and a badge and get hired. I mean, I don't think so either. I don't think like the majority of the interactions with the police, shit, my majority of the interactions with me and the police, it ain't turn out with the police beating me up or no shit like that. As a matter of fact, I never got my ass whooped by the police. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I probably got searched a little bit rough, but that's for the most part. So I don't think the majority of interaction with a cop turn out to be some shit like that.
I've been arrested a bunch of times. It's almost never bad, bro. Like I've never had like a bad interaction where like they beat me up or did something crazy. But at the same time, once some cuffs come on, I'm just waiting for my phone call, bro. I'm not even gonna play with you niggas. I'll be out of here tomorrow. Other niggas though, people get in them cuffs and they turn into a whole other animal.
And I appreciate you. Somebody said Tanks J is the name of the channel. No, I don't know. Show so the fighter, appreciate you for the super. You got it you got it, Manosphere.
No, you'll be surprised though. Like for me, I think when you don't have experience with dealing with a rough population, not saying black, not saying white, just a rough population, area that's known for being rough. I think if you lack that experience, that's when you fall into these situations where you don't handle your badge the way you should. If you're in a place where you barely have crime, you're not used to, dealing with those high stressful situations. But if you're assigned to an area where crime happens all the time, you gain a lot of experience on dealing with particular situations and a lot of comfortability. That way you don't be so jumpy when it's time to pull your weapon. Mm.
So what y'all got going on for the rest of the day? Because I ain't even gonna hold you. I didn't even plan to doing a long stream.
I'm just gonna chill, though, not much. I'm just gonna chill out, man. It's a good stream, though. Thanks for having me up, though. For the bit that I could contribute to the convo, to be honest. I appreciate that. I'm probably just gonna drop right now. Appreciate that.
For me, I'm probably gonna hit the pool, swim a couple of laps, probably hit the put some stuff in the smoker, and just hang out and probably drink till I pass out.
So wait a minute, you don't that shit is that nigga Monday. This nigga having a Monday weekend. You know what I'm saying? But let me ask you this, Manosphere. You retired or you still be working and shit?
No, I'll still be working.
Okay, this nigga was a CIA agent. What you got on that?
Nah, bro. Thanks for reminding me, Manosphere, bro. I got a case of the Mondays, dog, and I got to get back to this Monday morning shit, bro. I can't stand it. But we get through it, and then it won't be Monday no more. So it's all good.
Right.
That's what I got planned for the rest of the day. Work.
What about Hood Servative? Hood Servative, take us away, because I think we still tune in to. Let me see. You still stream? Yeah, Hood Servative is still streaming. What you got going on, DJ?
Oh, I'm like 5 minutes from punching out. Then I'm gonna go home and start up a whole show. I told you I was talking about the whole the logic being anti-black, and then we're gonna touch back on African time.
Well, that's the topic.
What's your channel, Hood Servative? I don't even know your channel.
The Hood Servative.
The Hood
Servative. I should pop up into it.
Yeah, I'm about to, I'm most likely I'll come through over there. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question, Hood. Am I safe to come over there? Because I'm unfiltered. I may derail your show.
You can come. I mean, I tend to not have a hostile audience. You know what I mean? You can say some crazy shit. We gonna have jokes, but we're not gonna come at you crazy. I'm not gonna come at you next. Here's my thing, though. If you believe something crazy, I'm gonna ask you about it. You're gonna have to explain it, but I'm not gonna be hostile towards you.
I ain't never been shy from explaining anything.
No, I think Manosphere do good on I think Manosphere do good on Hood channel. That shit is pretty chill over there.
Nah, we just honestly, we just don't believe a lot of the casual beliefs of Black America. So we're gonna challenge a lot of that shit.
Everybody who be on Hood channel don't even agree with the same shit. You know what I mean?
That is true. Every now and then my audience tell me I'm crazy.
Reese said, "What you got going on, DJ? I'm about to just get some work done. I got some graphics and shit to finish off, and shit, I might go live later. I ain't sure as yet. I might go live. That's why I went this early just in case. But we need to get on up out of here. We're gonna let Keels take y'all away. Let me see. What we got? Yeah, we got Keels in this motherfucker, right? Let me turn this shit up.